The rules of football are somebody throws the ball to you, and then you run with it, and they crash into them, and they tackle. You can't fight. It's a game where you get tackled and hurt. You try to block the people who are trying to score. And you run real far, and you get a touchdown. Yeah, they have a dance. You run under the yellow thing, and you spike it. I think those guys with the blue hat, those blue guys.
My favorite team is the Dallas Cowboys. So is my daddy. They come from Texas.
Los Angeles Raiders. I want to play against them. I might beat them.
I don't know what channel football's on anymore.
Fox NFL Sunday.
Because sometimes when you do channel 90, it clears the TV and there's nothing there.
You got this side in the front, and that forms a triangle. Now you say, what's up, truth? When you got him, that makes this triangle here a truth.
Huh? What are you talking about?
All the truth triangle.
It's like this shape. Stuff like this. I got my own illustrator. This guy goes here, this guy goes here, this guy goes here, boom! This guy goes there.
One of the harsh lessons that the Dallas Cowboys have learned this year is the devastating toll that this game can take on the human body. How much more punishment can the two-time defending champions take and remain standing? For the Green Bay Packers, this may not be the season they envisioned when play began. But they're in the playoff hunt, which is all anyone can hope for at Thanksgiving. That and a healthy body. Texas Stadium, the home of the Cowboys, as the Green Bay Packers come to town on this Thanksgiving Day. I'm Pat Summerall, and if you've had it, we hope the Thanksgiving dinner was great. If you haven't, we hope you enjoy it. The last time we were here at Texas Stadium, Troy Aikman was the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, but this is the last time we saw Troy. He was hit by Ken Harvey of the Washington Redskins and had to leave the stadium with his left knee in that brace and bandage, and Troy has graciously agreed to join us here on the sideline before the game starts today. And Troy, first of all, glad you're feeling better. Jason Garrett's going to be the quarterback. What exactly is your role going to be?
Well, as I told Jason throughout the week, I prepared as though I was going to be the starting quarterback today and watched film with him, went through the game plans and studied it throughout the week. Told him that I would be here through the ball game if he needed help. I was not going to go and give him any advice unwarranted, but if he asked for some advice, I'll be here to help, hopefully give him some.
All right, Troy, thank you very much. Good
Thanks,
luck.
guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
To you, too. With me is John Madden. Jason Garrett will be the quarterback, and what does that mean to the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, I think having Troy Aikman by his side is a pretty good thing, because as Troy says, he's going to be there if Jason Garrett needs him. Now, you can't plug in Jason Garrett and say, okay, go in there and beat Troy Aikman today. He can't do that. He's not going to do that. So I think you say, okay, what do they have to do then? I think their offense is going to be a little more conservative. Ernie Zampese isn't going to call a lot of deep passes and stuff. I think the running game has to pick up a little of the slack with Emmitt Smith. But bigger than that, their defense has to have a big day today, get some turnovers, and their special teams have to come up big.
We had the opportunity to visit with Packer head coach Mike Holmgren last night. How is he approaching this game?
Well, I think that he knows that he has to play the game knowing that they're going to be playing with Jason Garrett, so they don't want to give him anything. I think Brett Favre has to have a good game. The big thing that he can't do is he can't have any turnovers. He can't give the ball away. I think having Reggie White back today is real, real big. Not as a pass rusher, but as a run stopper.
The Cowboys lost the toss, will kick off. Corey Harris and Darrell Thompson back deep for Green Bay. Chris Bonio will kick off, and Barry Switzer, the coach of the Cowboys, thinks that before the dust settles, before this game is over, the field goal kickers will play a very big role, a vital role. For Dallas, it's Bonio. For Green Bay, it's Jackie. Set to go on Thanksgiving Day. And again, we hope your day has been a delightful one.
Yep, you can't beat this, Pat. Football and turkey and Thanksgiving, it all works well.
We've been doing it a few years now. Short kick. Returned by Harris. Here's the Green Bay offense led by Brett Favre. 60.6% completions. He's cut down on his interceptions. In front of him, a good offensive line. Rutgers, McIntyre, Winters, Galbraith, and Joe Sims. Reggie Cobb and Edgar Bennett are the runners. Sterling Sharp, Robert Brooks wide, and Ed West, the tight end. He should play a very important role for the Packers as well. Brett Favre, who can be very good and also be somewhat shaky. Reggie Cobb is the deep back. Favre is going to work. Faced by Haley. He just had to throw it to the green spot. And let's look at the #1 rated Dallas defense. Tolbert, Maryland, Leon Lett, and Haley up front. 3 very speedy linebackers. Darren Smith, Robert Jones, and Dixon Edwards. Kevin Smith, Darren Woodson, James Washington, and Larry Brown in the secondary. Cowboys clad in their new jerseys for this Thanksgiving Day. 3 wide receivers, Morgan, Brooks, and Sterling Sharp. Favre to Edgar Bennett. Bennett ridden down after he picked up about 3 by Kevin Smith.
Yeah, when we were talking to Mike Holmgren last night, that was one of the things he was talking about, is picking up enough on 1st and 2nd down so you don't have a lot of 3rd and long. Because the Dallas Cowboys are the #1 defense in the league, and of that #1, the best thing they do is this, Pat, is play this nickel defense, this long yardage defense.
Anything over 6 they regard being long yardage. 4 wide receivers this time. Brooks was the man in motion. Favre chased by Haley, rolls out of the pocket. Flag on the play as Brett Favre scrambles out of bounds. He doesn't have enough for a 1st down, but a flag back deep behind the Green Bay backfield.
And you know where Brett Favre learned that one? Scramble to your left side if you're in trouble, from Steve Young of the 49ers. Remember those bootlegs that he ran a couple weeks ago?
Number 75, offense.
Jerry
Penalties
Markbright.
declined. Fourth down.
They declined the penalty. Rutgers was holding Haley, and he still almost got in there.
That's one thing about Haley, and even Mike Holmgren said it, because Mike Holmgren coached the 49ers when Charles Haley was there. Mike Holmgren was an assistant. He said, when Haley's in here, he gets in your backfield and makes bad things happen. Sometimes he makes bad things happen at your line of scrimmage.
2 bad things happened then. The penalty, the 4th down, and now Craig Hendrick will have to punt, almost blocked. Kevin Williams says get away from it. It takes a Green Bay bounce, and they throw it out of bounds at the 2. Corey Harris was the man down, and the Cowboys have a long way to go. And the Dallas offense will be led by Princeton graduate Jason Garrett, number 17. Garrett's career has been longer than it has been active. In front of him, a veteran but injured offensive line, Tuine Newton, Stepnoski, Kennard, and Allen. All of them hurting in some fashion except Stepnoski. Emmett Smith, Darrell Johnston, the Moose, the fullback, Irvin Harper, and Novacek, the 3 receivers. Emmett Smith standing in the blue end zone of the Dallas Cowboys. Emmett Smith breaks out of the pack. Flag on the play. Smith stopped by the last man, George Teague, but a penalty marker down.
Well, we said Reggie White was going to play today, but not start. We can see Don Davey is in that left end position now.
Penalty against Dallas. Holding. There's Davey.
I would expect Reggie White to come in on this down. If I were the Packers and he was going to play, this is a pretty good position for the Packers.
Number 48, offense.
Holding
Half the
against
distance to the goal.
Darrell Johnston.
First down.
Let's have a look at the Packer defense. Good against the rush. Jones, McMichael, the ex-Bear, Yurkovich, and Davey starting for Reggie White. The linebackers, Kuntz, Strickland, and Bryce Poff, who's having an excellent year. Evans and Buckley, the corners. First and 12. Deeper in the end zone is Emmitt Smith. Again, he pops out of there. And Smith, more yards. Run down from behind at the 36. George Teague, again, the last man.
Nate Newton hit that official on the sideline. I think he got him right in the mouth.
He's
saying he's all right. That's why I thought I'd put Reggie White in there on that second down to stop that run.
If an official gets hit by Nate Newton, that's going to be an official that's losing the battle.
Yeah, good blocking there by Nate Newton. You see Nate Newton and Stepnoski were the two guys that made that hole. And watch at the end. I mean, here's Michael Irvin out in front blocking. The ball is fumbled there. You see, and then it was last touched by a Cowboy.
As we come back with Emmitt Smith again picking up good yardage, about 8. Yurkovich made the stop. Leroy Butler with an assist.
One of the things we were talking about is that with Troy Aikman out, playing your third-string quarterback, Jason Garrett, you're not going to put it all on his shoulders. And if you have to put it on someone's shoulders in this offense, number 22 doesn't have bad shoulders.
Even if he does have one sore shoulder, they're still pretty broad. Novacek is the move man. A handoff to Darrell Johnston. And there won't be many of those today, no matter who the quarterback is. The Moose stopped by Yurkovich. There's Troy Aikman over on the sideline.
Well, the plays come down from Ernie Zampese, who's the offensive coordinator, so Troy Aikman is listening in on the plays that are being signaled in. There's Rodney Peete, number 9, who injured his thumb last week, threw a little yesterday, says that he doesn't have a real strong grip, but feels he could play if he were needed.
He would be the backup. And Tommy Hodson, who they brought in during the week, would be the third quarterback. Here's Garrett back to throw it, gets it out to Emmitt Smith. Smith gets to about the 48. And gets to Dallas first down. Terrell Buckley made the stop. Jason Garrett, well, his life has been football. 1988 Ivy League Player of the Year while he was at Princeton. 1991, he played in the World League with the San Antonio Riders. Was drafted by New Orleans originally. Got cut there. His career passing in the CFL 2 out of 3. In the NFL 10 out of 24. He's been around, but hasn't been active that much except in preseason. Garrett. Now there's a good indication of a problem with Emmitt Smith's shoulder. He just couldn't get his arms up.
Yeah, and these are the kind of passes that Jason Garrett's going to throw. Jason Garrett, you know, is not a strong arm guy. You know, when you go from Troy Aikman, one of the best quarterbacks in football, one of the strongest arms, then you go to Jason Garrett. So he's not going to throw those deep outs and comebacks and those types of things. He's going to throw that shorter underneath stuff.
2nd and 10. Wheels it across into Green Bay territory, across the 50. Bryce Poff made the stop. They'll bring up the 3rd down and about 5 or 6. And they'll go with 3 wide receivers. Alvin Harper, number 80, has a cracked transverse process in his back.
And now we see Reggie White come in, Pat. They were saving him for this first passing down, this 3rd and long. And I think Reggie's also a pretty good run player. I think before the game's over, they're going to have to use him there.
Well, the arm will have its limits. He can use it, but he doesn't have the strength. Pass, Garrett is picked off by Buckley, and the Packers will take over.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was just saying that Jason Garrett can't throw well is that deep out or comeback, and you see he doesn't throw it well. He's going to drop back, throw it out here to the right, and it just stays in the air too long. You see, he doesn't have a lot of zip on that ball. Terrell Buckley's right there. He steps in front and makes the interception.
No score on Thanksgiving Day at Texas Stadium.
When is a minivan not a minivan? When you turn old thinking upside down and make it longer and wider for a smoother, secure ride. Next is safety with a capital S, making it the only minivan that combines standard dual airbags, 5-mile-an-hour bumpers, and anti-lock brakes, which should suit you to a T. And erase any idea that the new Ford Windstar is just another minivan. The future belongs to Windstar.
How many chances do you have in your life to change the quality of life in your own community? That's one of the reasons American Express card members are continuing the charge against hunger. You can go look into the eyes of people and see that they're doing better. Helped in a real way. Helped by getting a meal. Helped by getting a chance to get back on their feet.
Every time you use your American Express card, you'll help provide a meal for someone who's hungry. So help raise another $5 million, because the charge against hunger is on again.
Get up and at 'em Friday, because JCPenney opens extra early for store-wide doorbuster savings. Save an additional 10% on select sale items between 7:30 and 11 a.m. Friday only during the after Thanksgiving sale at JCPenney.
He knows the streets.
Good news is you're only 5 miles from East LA. Bad news is it's that way.
And the moves. He just doesn't know when to stop.
I told you, he'll be right down.
Keenan Ivory Wayans, a low-down, dirty shame. Rated R. Now playing.
This Fox NFL special is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered. By the all-new Ford Windstar, the future of minivans begins today. By JCPenney, doing it right. And by Coors, naturally brewed, reach for the silver bullet, the pure taste of the Rockies.
Packer ball at their own 40 after the interception by Buckley. Brett Favre with Reggie Cobb and Edgar Bennett behind him. Ed West, the tight end, signal down the line, quick out to Brooks. Hit by Brown, broke one tackle, and picked up about 5 extra. James Washington knocked him out of bounds.
Well, one thing you know, if you're going to throw on any down, you have to get Charles Haley blocked. So what they're going to do is they're going to double team Charles Haley. Now you see Robert Brooks out here. He's on Larry Brown. He just runs a little quick pattern, little hook, and then Brown comes up, misses a tackle, and lets him get 6 or 7 more yards.
Packers up on 2nd and 2 at their own 48. Lone setback with 2 tight ends. This is Edgar Bennett, beg your pardon. Didn't get the first. Leon Lett, who's having what many believe is a Pro Bowl, All-Pro type year.
I tell you, when you get Leon Lett in there and Russell Maryland the other side and Robert Jones, it is tough to run in that middle. You know, if you just look at this group right here, plus these 2 linebackers, it's tough to get in this area here. I mean, Leon Lett is a dominant guy. Russell Maryland plays low, plays against leverage, and they didn't get either one of them blocked.
That should be enough by Edgar Bennett to get a Green Bay Packer first down. Stopped by Darren Smith.
Number 58, Dixon.
And James Washington up for support.
And again, it was that throw to Robert Brooks, that first down throw where Larry Brown missed the tackle. That's the type of first down plays that Mike Holmgren is looking for. You know, where you can get 5, 6, 7 yards and have those 2nd and short and 3rd and short.
Where people like Haley can't just pin their ears back and put the heat on. They got to play the run, too. Has a man right in his face. Edgar Bennett put up a hand, but couldn't hang on as Tony Tolbert put the heat on Brett Favre. He turned around, and there was Tony Tolbert.
Well, you're going to see Tony Tolbert. He's coming from up there, the outside. No one blocks him, and that's the side that Brett Favre was trying to throw to. That's tough. I mean, that's tough to throw when the guy is 6'6" and you throw into his side when he's being blocked. When the guy's unblocked, it's impossible.
You hope for the best. 2nd and 10. That's Reggie Cobb. Cobb gets a couple, maybe 3. Hit by Robert Jones.
You know, an interesting thing, Pat, every time after Brett Favre hands the ball off, he's faking a bootleg out here, and he's looking to see if Haley is chasing that run. And remember what the 49ers did? Remember Steve Young getting those bootlegs? Well, they're running the ball to the right, and Favre is setting up for a bootleg to his left.
He doesn't have the speed that Steve Young has, but it could still be effective.
And somewhere in this game, he's going to do it.
3rd down. Favre to throw. Out of the pocket. Fires. Complete. Sterling Sharp kept him down. It'll be a Packer 1st down. Knocked out by Kevin Smith.
You know, and the key word you said, he fired. There's Sterling Sharp. He's up on top against Kevin Smith there. Sterling Sharp is such a big physical wide receiver that if you throw him anything, he can use his body to keep you away from it like he did to Kevin Smith that time.
Much like Michael Irvin.
Yeah, I mean, Sterling Sharp, you know, is so strong. I mean, you know, like 205 pounds, 210 pounds, but awfully strong.
1st and 10, Green Bay. Bennett, the motion man. The fake is to Tom Favre. Fires deep. Incomplete. No flag. And Favre took a shot. Now there is a flag.
And
that's Favre.
And it's straight at Charles Haley. I'll tell you, they bootlegged that. That was a bootleg, but it was to the other side. Haley's saying he's a runner, and they just sandwiched Brett Favre on that play. But Charles Haley's going to come from this side. Favre fakes and is bootlegging to the other side. Haley puts on the burners, and he just gets high load there by Tony Tolbert on the top.
Roughing the passer, number 92, defense. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Called against Tolbert, not Haley.
Yeah, Tony Tolbert was on the top, and Haley was on the bottom on that one. They just had him inside out, upside down, and sandwiched. Watch it from this angle. There's Tolbert, 92, from the front. I don't know what, unless they called that left elbow. Unless they said the left elbow hit him in the face.
Hit him in the face. He thinks it hit him in the face.
Well, you can look at Favre picking up, seeing if he got all his stuff there. He knows that he hit him in the face.
Are there all teeth in there? Leon Lett asking for the crowd to become involved in this defensive effort by the Cowboys as Favre gets to Cobb. And Cobb gets down to about the 15, maybe the 14.
I tell you, there's a cat and mouse game going on here, too, between Brett Favre and Charles Haley, because every time that they run to the right, Favre is looking for the bootleg, and now every time they run away from him before Haley leaves, he's checking Favre for the bootleg.
Yep. 2nd and 6. Packers at the Cowboy 15. Favre back to throw. To the 10, about the 9, to Ed West, the tight end. Hit by Robert Jones. Maybe something did find its way to his mouth.
Well, you know, I think Brett Favre is the kind of quarterback that plays better like this.
Yeah,
I think when he's all fired up and fresh and everything, I think he plays, you know, a little too strong. I think he gets too fired up. I think he's too emotional. I think he gets in the game, you get beat around a little. I think now Brett Favre is into this game. I think they knocked him into this game.
1st and goal at the 9, to tight end. Favre outside to Brooks. Taken down by Larry Brown. Down at about the 4.
Because there are, you know, some guys that don't get ready enough for a big game, and there's some guys that get too ready. Favre is one of those guys that get too ready and drives this guy crazy.
Takes him a while to get calmed down, get into the swing of things.
Yeah, and you know, and he says, I mean, he knows it too. Brett Favre knows it. He doesn't know what causes it.
2nd goal at the 4. Sharp in motion. Farm to Cobb. To the 1. Darren Woodson made the stop. Cowboy player slow getting to his feet. That was Woodson. Washington holding his arm.
Yeah, that's that same hand. Remember Sunday against the Redskins.
Yeah.
He hurt that arm or shoulder. Hey, the Packers have a good drive going here.
2 tight ends again. Reggie Cobb is deep. Favre to Sterling Sharp, touchdown. Green Bay puts 6 up.
A day after that hit, after Favre took that hit, you could just see him say, okay, this is the kind of game I want. And he just looked like he just gained all kind of confidence. That time they brought Sterling Sharp in motion across the backfield, went to the play fake on 3rd down, faked the run in there, brought it out, and Sharp was wide open in the end zone.
Chris Jackie for the extra point. Hendrick, the holder. Brett Favre with blood dripping out of his mouth. Is he intense? His team leads 7-0. Texas Stadium, where the Green Bay Packers lead the Dallas Cowboys 7-0. Touchdown pass from Brett Favre to Sterling Sharp. Chris Jackie will kick it off.
You know, and it all started with that interception by Jason Garrett when he got put in a 3rd and long, and they forced him to do something that he really can't do, and that's throw that deep out.
Jackie hits a bouncing kickoff to Kevin Williams. He's going to run and start. Did, but only got to the 33-yard line. The Cowboys will take over there. Brett Favre to Sharp for the touchdown. 7-0 Green Bay. Stadium. Hope you've had a happy Thanksgiving day. As you look down at that very familiar sight with the hole in the roof where the fans are dry, and if it should rain, the players get wet. Green Bay leading 7-0. Jason Garrett, the Cowboy quarterback, Emmett Smith and Darrell Johnston. They fake a reverse. They get it to Emmett. Smith. 1st down, Dallas, and a flag on the play.
That was Nate Newton and Mark Stepnoski out in front on that screen, and it was thrown at them.
Holding against Dallas is the preliminary signal by Jerry Markbright.
Holding, number 61, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Yeah, that was Nate Newton.
It'll be 1st down again.
And there was a screen pass, and they get this center, Stepnoski and Newton out in front. So it wasn't holding on the line of scrimmage. It was holding out in the open field. And, you know, for a big guy, Nate Newton does that well.
Oh,
I mean, not hold, but just get out in front. I mean, watch Nate. He's the guard here. He's number 61. Now, it was him right there. There's big old Nate coming down the line, and he's going to make the hit right there. And I think at the end of the hit, he may have gotten a grab in there.
Penalty was from the spot of the foul. It's 1st and 12. Emmett Smith, the ball carrier, to the 35. Right now for a McDonald's game break. Let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Pat, this is a day for the Lions to give thanks. Opening drive, and Detroit pulls out the flea flicker. Dave Craig, 51 yards to Herman Moore for the score. And the Lions going to win it by 14 to stay alive in the playoff hunt. Back to Dallas. Pat and John.
2nd down, about 8-9 for the Cowboys. Reggie White in for the Packer defense. Emmett Smith can't shake the tackler, who is Mike Pryor. Probably just going to shadow Emmett now.
Yeah, and anytime you see a defensive back up there around the line of scrimmage, that's what they talk about when they talk about 8 men up. Because the Packers have 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers. So if they play them with 7, that's 7. Then when you get a defensive back up there, that's what gets the 8th man up. And that's the way to stop Emmitt Smith. I mean, you're never going to stop him, but that's the best way to control Emmitt Smith is with 8 men up.
3rd and 9, 3 wide receivers. Garrett back to throw it. Going deep to Harper. He's open. Yes, he made the catch. I was not sure he got both feet down, but he did.
Yeah, when Jason Garrett found out he was going to be a starter, Pat, his wife says, I don't mean to get involved in this stuff, and I don't usually tell you what to do, but if you don't know what to do, just throw it high to Alvin Harper. That usually works.
I'm not sure he got both feet down.
No, it didn't look like he did. In fact, the officials are talking about it there, and there was pressure there by Reggie White.
Second foot hit out of bounds.
He didn't get both feet down.
Well, watch.
You see, he has the ball, and then he didn't have either foot down. So they called it complete. Then they had a conference, and then they changed it. Let's watch Reggie White and watch his move. There's Reggie right here, and you'll watch him. He's working against a rookie, Larry Allen. You can see that he can't use that left arm, but that right arm is about as strong as any 4 guys' 2 arms.
That you call a bull rush.
Yeah, with a jack up.
Yeah.
I mean, he took the bull rush and then he jacked Larry Allen right up, and Larry Allen goes about 330.
John Jett back deep to punt to Reggie Brooks. Good kick by Jett. Fair catch signal. Brooks makes it at the 22-yard line where the Packers will take over there. They lead by the score of 7-0.
Dr. Pepper presents What a Play! Just what the doctor ordered.
Just we're going to show them how football is supposed to be played today.
Alvin Harper has become an electrifying performer in the exciting Cowboys offense. Stay tuned for Just What the Doctor Ordered.
Watch that move of Reggie White again. Right here, 92. Watch that strength. He can't use his left arm. He puts his left arm out, and look what he does to Larry Allen. He gets underneath his left shoulder, just lifts him up with one arm, lets him go, and then he puts that right arm again on Jason Garrett. Whew, that is a move.
That is strength. 1st and 10, Green Bay. Their own 22. Far to throw it. Gets it up the middle to tight end Ed West. That's close to a 1st down. Stopped by Robert Jones.
There's Larry Allen. He's wondering where that move came from. He played at Little Sonoma State. 2nd-round draft choice. He didn't expect Reggie White to play. Reggie White, a couple of days ago, they said he was out.
Well, he thought his arm was broken last Sunday.
Yeah, and there was no way that he could play. And then he said it was a miracle. He said he was laying on a table, had a 2-minute nap, woke up, the swelling was gone, and he had almost full movement in that left arm.
Favre to Reggie Cobb.
Again, you know, we talk about the middle. I mean, here you got Leon Lett, you got Russell Maryland there, and those guys are really playing with leverage. I mean, they're getting underneath the shoulder pads, and they don't let anyone move them to the side or move them back. And then those linebackers, those quick linebackers, can flow in and make a play.
Robert Jones came up to make that stop, but the Packers got a 1st down anyway. Brett Favre, since he took that hit that bloodied his mouth, those are his numbers.
Yeah, I think they knocked something into him. Probably knocked a little something out of him, you know, some of that anxiousness and that, you know, that adrenaline.
Maybe teeth.
Yeah, and then he's gone 4 for 4 and thrown a touchdown pass. They made him better. 1st and down.
1st and 10. The handoff to Reggie Cobb. Wrapped up at the 35 by Leon Lett.
But, you know, when you're a quarterback and you're from Kill, Mississippi, you know, those type of things do make you, you know, play back. I mean, some, you know, say, how can a hit like that by 2 guys going full speed make you a better quarterback? Well, I think if you're a quarterback like Brett Favre, it does. I mean, heck, on Monday, had a day off on Monday, went deer hunting.
Yeah.
Can't wait until tomorrow to go deer hunting again.
We practiced shooting at pumpkins.
And missed.
Blitz coming on Favre, who gets rid of the ball, completes the pass to Ed West again outside the 40.
Yeah, when we talked to him last night, he said he wanted to do 3 things. Is get smooth, you know, drop back, set your feet, and throw the ball. And on that pass, he did exactly that. Drop back, set his feet, and threw the ball.
He has to do that. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Green Bay Packers 7, the Dallas Cowboys nothing.
Yeah, and then I agree with that girl. I mean, you start with 4 legs. The turkey has 4 legs, so we know that. In fact, we got one on the bus now that has at least that many.
Pass incomplete from Favre, intended for Edgar Bennett.
Good play by Dixon Edwards. That's one of these. The thing about these 2 outside linebackers of the Cowboys, Darren Smith and Dixon Edwards, they both play the pass well.
Well, they're so fast.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, they can darn near cover like defensive backs.
Craig Hendrick back to punt for Green Bay, and Kevin Williams deep for Dallas. Turn 1. Last week, 87 yards for a touchdown against Washington. This one is up there forever. Williams almost got around the corner, but couldn't get away from Keyshawn Johnson. Threw him out of bounds. Pat Summerall and John Madden, happy Thanksgiving to you. We're in Texas Stadium in Irving between Dallas and Fort Worth. 7-0 Packers lead. Dallas ball. Emmett Smith is cut down by Sean Jones. First quarter statistics pretty well tell the story of what kind of game everyone expected it to be. The Packers wished to control the clock.
Right, and it's the type of thing, there's 2 things the Packers want, like you say, control the clock and no turnover. I think those are the 2 big things. And then you see on the Cowboys side, they did have that 1 turnover,
right,
and then that 1 turnover became 7 points for the Packers.
2nd and 12. Emmett Smith lost 2. Novacek in motion. Jason Garrett to throw. Intended Novacek, incomplete. George Kuntz playing Novacek.
See, this is the thing that really hurts the Cowboys and Jason Garrett when they don't make any yards on first down. Then you get 2nd and long, and that's not his forte. I mean, that's tough for any quarterback. And then you throw an incomplete pass, and now you're 3rd and long. And this is where he can't make a mistake. In other words, Jason Garrett may not be able to win this game for the Cowboys, but the thing that he has to do is not lose it, and not lose it in situations like this right here.
Cowboys put Harper and Irvin wide. First down, Cowboys at the 30.
Emmett Smith still has that bad shoulder. That left shoulder, remember he got hit against the 49ers?
Yep.
The right one, he had to operate on in the offseason. That left shoulder is still bothering him.
Smith is going out.
He has the ball. In fact, the ball was really knocked out of there, too. He didn't even go to grab it. I think it looked like that helmet and shoulder pad was awfully close to a direct hit on his left shoulder.
And he's in pain, and Lincoln Coleman has taken his place on first down. And this is Coleman. Reggie White to make the tackle. Emmett Smith has 71 yards. The others, including Darrell Johnston,
and you see
Emmett Coleman, nothing.
Emmett Smith, he takes 1 play off to check that shoulder, and he's back in there. And that's why he's Emmett Smith.
Yeah.
Reggie White is in there.
And that's why he's Reggie White.
That's why he's Reggie White.
case by Reggie White and taken down by Reggie White.
I think Jason Garrett has to know when you have Larry Allen over there trying to block against Reggie White that you better not float that way. You better not roll that way. You see, because he's not, it's going to be tough enough for Larry Allen. They better give him some help. It's going to be tough enough trying to block Reggie White when you're a rookie and he's only playing with one arm. When your quarterback gets in trouble, he can't float towards Reggie. I mean, if he's going to, you got to go up the middle or try and go that other way.
He won't float long if he goes in that direction.
No, because he's going to be beating Allen all day.
3rd and 20, and Garrett back to throw it. Screen pass, Emmett Smith makes a one-handed grab, but there is no place to go. He hurt, in addition to his shoulder problems, the last time he was in, he hurt his left thumb. Yeah, you can see it's bandaged now.
Yeah, they were trying to get a screen pass to the side of Reggie. This is going to be a tough day there for Emmett Smith, and he knows it because the burden is all gone to him. They tried to throw him a screen pass that time and cut Reggie, and every other Packer knew about that.
John Jett back deep to punt. Robert Brooks will receive for Green Bay. No flag. Jett's kick is a high, good one. Brooks. Hit out of bounds by Jim Swanson. Some of our very capable crew wishing a happy Thanksgiving as well. Troy Aikman in the middle of this conference. Jay Novacek, Darrell Johnston. Green Bay has had much better places to start from than have the Cowboys, and they lead it 7-0. Handoff is to Reggie Cobb. Flag on the play.
See how quick those Cowboy linebackers are, though. I mean, Robert Jones just comes flying across there. I mean, that's one thing. As you always say, they all run, but even the safeties.
Face mask foul, number 55, defense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Robert Jones.
Well, I said how fast Robert Jones runs and how quickly he gets across there, but when he got there, he grabbed a face mask right there with his left hand. Yeah, that's so tough. I mean,
yeah.
It seems like in tackling you see that happen so much. Those face masks are larger now, and they grow out, and you just go to grab whatever you can, and a lot of time it's a face mask.
Here's Favre back to throw. Screen pass coming. Edgar Bennett gets down inside the Dallas 35 to about the 34, stopped by James Washington and Leon Lett.
I like the way the Packers are approaching this game. I mean, they're just going out to, to really not open up things, be a little conservative, don't make mistakes, but just keep putting the pressure on the Cowboys.
And they've been able to keep it in the Cowboy side of the field so far and keep that pressure on, as you say.
And you feel that everything they're doing offensively, they have control of.
1st and 10. Favre going deep for Sharp. Flag on the play. A lot of shoving and pushing going on. Let's see who it's on.
Yeah, I don't know how they call that anymore, Pat. Everyone is pushing and shoving so much. You don't know who they're going to call it on.
Could be offense.
Pass interference, number 26,
but it
defense.
isn't.
First down.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah, this is a physical thing. I mean, right from the line of scrimmage. You can see that Sterling Sharp makes a good arm over. Sharp gets his left arm out there. Yep. He's pushing off. He's pushing off. Kevin Smith is pushing with his right arm. I think that's one of those, I don't know, you either call it on both or you call it on neither, because the fade or up pattern is becoming a very physical thing now between the wide receiver and the cornerback.
And you just throw it up in the air and hope somebody comes down with it, or you get a penalty. Nothing there for Edgar Bennett. And Robert Jones is yelling for help.
Well, I think he's just happy with what he does. You know, that's the way they celebrate sometimes,
so.
too. You see, he reads that guard blocking down. When that guard blocks down, he has to fill. He stepped in there before Guy McIntyre got there.
That was nothing but celebration.
Oh, yeah, he was pointing. He made the play. That guard blocked down. Boom, he steps up. You know, he goes, you come.
2nd and 10. Far straight back. Time incomplete. Woodson over the shoulder of Ed West.
That was a heck of a play by Darren Woodson to be able to get over that shoulder and not have pass interference.
It's gotten so, as you say, you sort of hold your breath. Anytime a pass is up there like this.
But watch Darren Woodson here. He's going to get that left hand over. He doesn't touch him with the right hand and just throws that left arm over and knocks the ball down before it gets to Ed West.
Green Bay timeout as Favre heads for the sideline to talk with Mike Holmgren. The Packers looking for more. They lead 7-0.
Yeah, they went from Plymouth and they went straight to California, and then they just stayed there the rest of the time. Put all their clothes on. No one was afraid of them anymore.
No one was afraid. Showed them how to eat. Favre is chased and fires. End zone incomplete.
You know, and part of that has to go to Charles Haley, too. Because Haley was the guy that was chasing him. And he came all the way across the field. He just stayed after him, because if you don't, you let the guy hold the ball and make another decision. If you stay after him the way Charles Haley stayed after him, then you don't give him that time to make another decision.
Chris Jackie will try a field goal with Hendrick holding. 29 yards away for Jackie. 11 out of 15 on the year. This is well within his range. 10-0 Green Bay with 9:40 left to play in the first half.
And now, the greatest Thanksgiving dishes ever. At number 5, cranberry sandwich. Number 4, Norm Van broccoli. Number 3, Mean Joe green beans. Number 2, the Danny White meat. And the number 1 Thanksgiving dish of all time, the Aldo Greco leg. Make no bones about it. Happy Thanksgiving, America. From the Hat.
Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, they have ESP, man. I've seen them on the field like cosmic twins. ESP. It's a special message for Michael and Troy.
Great! Once-in-a-lifetime interview and you oversleep? Move it!
Think fast. Think the compact Speed Racer. When you have to put your best face forward on the go, the Norelco Speed Racer. Close and comfortable to go.
Get up and at 'em Friday because JCPenney opens extra early for store-wide doorbuster savings. Save an additional 10% on select sale items between 7:30 and 11 a.m. Friday only during the after Thanksgiving sale at JCPenney.
I'm Gene Upshaw. On behalf of the NFL's 75th anniversary all-time team, have a happy Thanksgiving.
The shocking murder of Jamie Bowie. You helped capture the suspect. Now see the dramatic trial.
I'm not guilty of murder.
On a special America's Most Wanted Saturday.
9:40 left to play in the first half. Green Bay leading 10-0 and about to kick off. Dallas has been able to do very little on offense, and Green Bay has been able to take advantage of what came their way. Chris Jackie to kick it off. Kevin Williams and Brock Marion back deep for Dallas. Jackie's hit better this time. Kevin Williams. Past the 40 to the 43. Kevin Williams. This Sunday, Fox NFL Sunday begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, with the #1 pregame show in America. Then Fox NFL Sunday continues with regional action beginning at 1 Eastern. As John and I will be in Atlanta as the Eagles take on the Falcons. Others will see Tampa Bay play Minnesota at 4 o'clock Eastern. Chicago battles Arizona. The Giants are at Washington. The Rams face the Chargers. Check your local listings for the game in your area right here on Fox Sports. First and 10. Cowboys at their own 43. Emmitt Smith, the lone running back. Smith hit after about a yard. Right now for McDonald's game break. Let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Pat, you talked about some games. Well, some of our viewers will see Steve Walsh try to become 7-0 as a starter for the Bears on Sunday in the oldest NFL rivalry against the Cardinals and that man, Buddy Ryan. Buddy will join us at halftime with his usual candid talk. Back to Dallas. Pat and John.
Second down, Cowboys, about 9-8 to go. This is a situation they don't want to be in. Who does? Garrett outside to Darrell Johnston with room. Johnston head over heels after a good game. Upended by Terrell Buckley.
And once the Moose gets that thing rolling, there's no one who wants to take him head on.
No.
You see that? Jason Garrett thought that he'd be able to get this. You know, the Packers give you this stuff in the flat. He thought he'd be able to get the ball out here to the Moose. Now watch the Moose. When he gets that big thing rumbling up that sideline, they're gonna duck and get underneath them. That's what it looks like. You want to hit him as low as you can.
He's become a flying Moose.
Yeah, well, and if you're going to get a Moose, you get him down by his ankle.
That's Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt stays on his feet down to about the 26.
Emmitt Smith is showing he's okay. He's helping guys up with his left arm. You know, I've always said that the best friend of a quarterback is a running back, a good running game. And if you're Jason Garrett, and you haven't played much, and you have to start a game on Thanksgiving, it's nice to have Emmitt Smith back there and Darrell Johnston.
2nd and 5. Emmitt gets the carry and won't get much this time. Nothing. Gilbert Brown plucked up the hole. A little shoving match going on between Scott Galbraith. Nate trying to step in and calm things down.
Nate's breaking it up. Nate says, hey, don't do that.
You're going to fight, you're going to go around me, and by that time their tempers will be gone.
You see the size of that Gilbert Brown, though?
330 or thereabouts.
Yeah, I mean, he plugs it up. When number 93's in there, there's not much of a hole anywhere.
3rd and 7. 3 wide receivers. Draw play to Emmitt Smith. Didn't get it. Almost broke it for first down yardage, but not quite. Close enough for Chris Bonio.
It's going to be an interesting decision. You know, do you go for it on 4th down, or do you kick the field goal? Barry Switzer has already made his decision. In fact, he was telling us yesterday that Bonio is going to play a big part in this game. That whoever needed Chris Bonio, he felt that it was going to need him today.
So the rookie will step up and try his first field goal of the day from 42 yards out. Bonio. Far enough and good. Chris Bonio puts the Cowboys on the scoreboard. It is 10-3. Green Bay leading in the 2nd quarter with 6:16 left. We have our own celebration coming up on the Madden Cruiser.
Well, you know, we had one before the game out there. We had one turkey there. We got, there's Willie, our driver, Dave, other driver, and there's a turkey. And if you notice, you know, like the girl says, here's a leg here and a leg here and a leg here. There's 4 legs. And I think this one may have, you know, a couple down there too. But we have these turkey legs that we're going to give out after the game.
Little piece of pie gone already.
Right there. Well, you never know. I don't know who's in that bus when I'm up here. I don't know who's down there. But I know that 6-legged turkey's there.
Yep.
And we're going to have those 6 legs to give out to the MVPs of this game.
Some of the previous winners, and there have been some good ones. In fact, Reggie White in 1989 won the first turkey leg. That's when the turkey only had 2.
Yeah, that was a 2-legged turkey. And then Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman won it. It was still 2-legged. And then when Eric Kramer and Jerry Ball won it, I think it was 3 or 4-legged then.
And then we had to get more for the offensive line. Well, that's what happens to those turkeys.
And then that's where we keep them. I mean, you wonder, like, you know, where they go. You know, they just keep them in the trophy case in America.
One thing sure, after Reggie White and his buddies who won the award get through with him, they don't fly away.
They're what you call a full carcass.
Handle. And the Cowboys special teams do a good job of getting down on Torrey Harris. Derek Brownlow down to make the stop.
Yeah, I think there was an example what we just saw is what the Barry Switzer was talking about, that the special teams have to have a big day, and they just did. They go in, kick a field goal, Bonio does, and then get a good kickoff coverage.
So Brett Favre and Reggie Cobb, the last two to check in. A lot of Reggies.
First Reggies in any day in Thanksgiving in the history of the Thanksgiving Day game.
I believe you're right. 10-3 Green Bay. Favre to throw it. Screen pass to Bennett. Hit down by Darren Smith just as soon as he caught the ball.
Those guys are tough to run screen passes on, too. This defense is very tough, and you're going to watch Darren Smith here. They're very tough to run screen passes on, and they're very tough to run sweeps on because their linebackers run so well.
Yeah, he's so quick, he just went right by the blocker.
Yeah, they didn't even stay. I mean, he just flew by him like a blur. Like that turkey that's down there in the bus tried to fly by someone like it was a blur.
2nd and 12. Favre on the draw play to Edgar Bennett. Not much. Crowd's starting to come to life a little bit now after the 3 points and the good defensive surge and the good coverage by the special team for Dallas.
You know, that's the thing. You know, a lot of times the team will talk about, you know, the crowd's not into it. Well, the team has to put the crowd into it. Here they get penetration. You see Leon Lett. Leon Lett is one of those guys that is now becoming like Charles Haley, penetrating, getting in the backfield, and being disruptive.
4 wide receivers. Jeffcoat and Henning to help out with the pass rush. Pass is caught by Terry Mickens, but stopped immediately by Darren Woodson.
Now, that's the thing now. This is what I'm talking about is that the players put the crowd in this game. Darren Woodson now can play nickel, and you're going to see they come underneath. Darren Woodson in nickel is like a linebacker. In fact, in college, he was like a linebacker.
Hendrick back to punt. Kevin Williams deep for Dallas. 10-3 Green Bay. Good kick, but returnable. Williams up straight ahead to the 38. Mark Shimura made the stop. Today's appearance by the Blockbuster Video Blimp is part of its 1994 nationwide tour on behalf of the Children's Miracle Network. Unusual but very handsome view of Texas Stadium from above. What she looks like.
That's what Reggie White looks like. How'd you like to be Larry Allen and have to block him, even though he's only playing with one arm?
I would not want that job. Emmett Smith over toward Reggie White to about the 40, picked up maybe 3 yards. Emmett Smith is hurting.
Yeah, and they're trying to run at Reggie White, and that time Larry Allen wasn't blocking him. They had Scott Galbraith block him, because sometimes he lines out wide. You see, he's out here wide. Then you have the motion man come here and try and block him. Now, that's even more difficult, you know, because he's just going to stand you up. I mean, he's not going anywhere. You're not going to get any movement by having Scott Galbraith block Reggie White.
2nd and 7. Jason Garrett goes deep for Harper. Incomplete. In the corner. No flags. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
And he threw into double coverage. You see the free safety there. George Teague is going to get over. You see, Evans is there. He's man-to-man on him. He has a man-to-man. Here comes Teague right there over the top. See, the safety was reading that thing, and he was back there, and then he comes and he gets there just as the ball gets there. He gets his left arm inside and his right arm outside.
3rd and 7. And Harper coming out of the slot position that time. Now he's in motion. Jason Garrett, again Reggie White. Pass is complete up the middle to Michael Irvin. Close to a first down. And I think he has it, but Reggie White put another one of those bull rush moves on Larry Allen.
Again, it's that right arm. See, when Larry Allen picks that left foot up, that's when Reggie does it. So then Reggie White knocked poor old Jason Garrett right into Sean Jones coming from the other side. But you see, what Reggie White does is he goes in and he's watching, and when he gets him to turn and lift that inside leg, then he just takes that right arm and just gets him going straight up in the air and then backward.
He just explodes into them. Garrett trying to throw a screen pass again. Trying to get rid of it. Chased again by Reggie White. The flag on the play.
Yeah, they tried to run a screen pass. They tried to cut Reggie that time and then throw over him, but there was no one open. Watch out.
Barry Switzer thinks that he was trying to get the ball to somebody.
Intentional grounding. The quarterback did not get the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
Didn't get the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, see, when he runs outside.
Was out of the pocket, but he did not get the ball back near the line of scrimmage. It's still intentional grounding.
You see, that doesn't help there.
Out of the foul.
What the rule is here, you see, he can come outside here. If he gets outside of this pocket, he's okay. But when he throws the ball, it still has to go beyond the line of scrimmage. Now, the line of scrimmage is the 50-yard line. So when Jason Garrett, look, he's looking for a screen here. Now Reggie White's chasing him. Now, if he throws the ball and it goes beyond the 50-yard line, he can throw it away.
It did not.
No, so it's short of the 50-yard line, so it's intentional grounding.
Fans booed. Here's Emmitt Smith on the draw. And they converge very quickly to shut that down.
Reggie White is a one-man gang out there. Look at him. He's already had a sack, 2 hurries, and 2 knockdowns. Chased him out of the pocket, stopped the run when they tried to run at him.
And don't forget, he's made, I think, 3 tackles already as well. Here he is again. He's doing most of that with just one arm.
You ride?
Some.
I'll give you 2 pieces of advice, cowboy. Change your oil more often.
And?
Watch out for them blind side blitzes.
Get real.
Logo Athletic, authentic team apparel.
Tomorrow night, hide the Thanksgiving leftovers because Fox is unleashing 200 pounds of family fun. Charles Grodin stars in the blockbuster comedy hit Beethoven. Special movie presentation tomorrow at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, here on Fox.
I bet Beethoven's a good guy.
Seems like it. I don't know about those guys, the cheeseheads.
Yeah, I mean, how do you decide to wear a cheesehead? I mean, that's one thing, but then not wear a shirt.
I don't think they bought them locally.
What, the no shirts? Well,
yeah,
they didn't bring any clothes from Green Bay.
To Harper. Incomplete. He had the comeback, but the ball hit the turf. Doug Evans was with him.
This is what Jason Garrett, you know, one of the things he wanted to do is just throw the ball up to Alvin Harper and go for a jump ball. Alvin Harper, we watched him at practice yesterday. He couldn't move at all. He has a cracked transverse process, and That's in his back, and that's just a very painful thing.
It looked like it yesterday. It pained him to walk.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think he'd be able to play today the way he looked yesterday.
John Jett got the punt to Robert Brooks. Brooks signals fair catch at the 15.
Let's go!
So the Packers will take over with 1:44 left to play in the first half. How many times has a team played the prior year's Super Bowl teams in consecutive weeks? That's the Aflac trivia question.
I think most people are too full to even think about that question.
Yeah.
I mean, there's too many. How many? Well, you have to think, like before or after. There's too many things to think about. I think on Thanksgiving it ought to be like a, like a 3-word sentence.
If you haven't had Thanksgiving dinner yet, you don't want to be thinking about the Aflac trivia question.
Right.
As much as we'd like you to.
And if you've had it, then, I mean, that's the last thing you're going to be thinking of is all those things.
We'll give you the answer in a minute.
I didn't even understand the question yet, because I ate half a turkey before we came up here.
That's a bouncer. The question again, the Aflac trivia question. How many teams has a team played the prior year's Super Bowl team in consecutive weeks? That is a tough question. The Packers are the 22nd team in NFL history. They played Buffalo last week and are playing Dallas today. That's the answer. Now I understand the question.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing is that the two teams that played each other last Sunday in Buffalo are the two teams playing as the opponents here on Thanksgiving Day.
That is really interesting. Brooks. Reggie Cobb. Another Reggie, the ball carrier.
You say that you can't sweep or run outside against the Cowboys. Well, then you have to run inside, and then you say you can't run inside either, and that's why they're the #1 defense in football.
This is a Cowboy timeout, so they have 2 left, as do the Packers. New York Undercover. See why the critics say the music and the attitude make it the coolest cop show since Miami Vice. Catch a brand new episode of New York Undercover tonight at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, here on Fox. Right now on Fox, the Packers have the ball 3rd and 8. With 2 timeouts remaining, Favre back to throw. Chased by Jeffcoat, away from Jeffcoat. Fires back across the field, complete to Sterling Sharp. And Sharp will get the Packers a first down, and they should be able to occupy the rest of the half.
That's one thing about Sterling Sharp. He's a big target, darn near like a tight end. And then once Favre starts to scramble, Sterling Sharp was just standing there.
This one's to Edgar Bennett. He gets into Dallas territory before he's hit by Brock Marion. And they bring up 2nd down. Clock running less than a minute. In a hurry. They need 2. They'll get 2 to Sharp from Favre. And now they take a timeout.
As you said earlier, Brett Favre is one of those guys that when he's cold, he can really be cold, and when he's hot, he can really be hot, and he looks like he has a little streak going now.
Yes, he does. 42 seconds left, first half. Maybe Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will take a look at today's early game between the Bills and the Lions. Then we'll hear from the always outspoken Buddy Ryan. That's all coming up next on the Dockers halftime. 10-3 here at Texas Stadium. The Packers lead. 1 timeout left. Dallas has 2. First down, Green Bay at the Dallas 36. Favre to throw it. Comes out of the pocket and wings it deep. Touchdown. Sterling Sharp. As you said, Brett Favre was looking and getting hot.
You know what they did? They doubled Charles Haley on that side. Brett Favre scrambled a little to the left. Sterling Sharp was streaking up to the left, and Favre just let him have it perfectly.
Heck of a throw.
Right, here's Sterling Sharp. He's the outside guy. Then he becomes the slot guy as a result of motion. And he just runs right through those two corners. Brock Marion was the safety, and he didn't know what hit him. But that motion is what made slot out of Sterling Sharp.
Jackie's extra point is good, and the Packers lead it. 17-3.
Starts out here, Pat. They're going to double Charles Haley, and that's the side that Favre is able to scramble to. See, they got the tackle in the back. Now, that opens up a little lane for him to go to the left. And then again, the motion made Sterling Sharp the slot man. And then he ran right by the corners and the safety, Brock Marion. And then at the end, he just looked that ball right into his hands.
That's a big touchdown right there, 17-3. The Packers lead.
It may be one of those touchdowns that Barry Switzer might have to consider using Rodney Peete in this second half.
You certainly might be right about that. Sterling Sharp has 2 today. So does Brett Favre. That's one heck of a throw he just let go. Well, running the other way.
Yeah, you could tell. Remember, early in the game, he got hit, and he got better since then. Then you could tell on this drive, this no huddle, that he had a sync going, that he was in sync, that he had something going. He had a rhythm going that could result in a touchdown, and then he throws it.
So much for setting your feet and firing. He really winged that one.
Yeah, if you look at since he took that hit in the chin, he's been 12 out of 16 and thrown 2 touchdown passes. So, as I said, I think rather than knocking something out of him, they knocked something in him.
There's Rodney Peete. Hurt his thumb last week against the Redskins in relief of Troy Aikman. He may have to relieve again. Robert Jones is going to return this kickoff. And gets it. Flag on the play. Gets it out to about the 39. Another flag on the play.
You know, last week in the Redskin game at halftime, Barry Switzer went wild in the locker room.
Illegal block, number 48 on the return, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Darrell Johnston called for the illegal block.
And on Sunday, I was saying Barry Switzer went wild in the locker room at halftime. Maybe he should have saved it for this halftime. They really didn't need it last Sunday against the Redskins, but the Cowboys need a jump start here today.
He might have another wild left in him. And as you say, he might need it.
But they're playing with a half a deck. I mean, Jason Garrett is struggling. Both of his wide receivers are hurt. Emmitt Smith, his running back, is hurt. They can't block Reggie White.
30 seconds left in the first half. 1st and 10. Garrett back to throw it. Michael Irvin. He's down at about the Dallas 42. That'll be enough for a first down, but he's hurting also.
Yeah, he has an injured quad. You can see that, but one of these guys are going to have to come up big in the second half if the Cowboys are going to be in this game.
Packers leading 17-3.
This holiday season, more people will trust Napa to keep their vehicles running and to help them save, too. Pick up this Napa toy truck with battery-operated powerboat for just $16.99. A 56-piece home tool set, only $29.99. And a 22-piece screwdriver set for a low $14.99. So stop by your nearest Napa Auto Parts store today. You never know who you'll run into.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
Over on the sideline, that's the Moose, Darrell Johnston. I don't know if didn't see him get injured, but he looks like he's in pain.
Well, when you see that smelling salts out there, you know that he got dinged somewhere.
One timeout left for each team. Dallas ball at their own 42. Darrell Johnston resting. Mason Garrett. Outside intended for Irvin, incomplete. Double coverage. Corey Harris, the man nearest. 16 seconds left to play in the first half. 17-3, Green Bay the score.
See, and Green Bay has them just where they want them. They got that lead now. Now they can play this error-free football. They can go after Jason Garrett. Eventually, Garrett's going to have to try and get the ball deep to his outside receivers, and that's really not his strength.
So, as John Madden said, there's a good chance we'll see Rodney Peete in the second half. Here's Garrett. Deep for Harper. Incomplete. Terrell Buckley on the coverage. Word on Darrell Johnson is that he did get a blow to the head, and they'll evaluate at halftime.
Because you can see that he doesn't have his senses back. I mean, that was with the smelling salts he was trying to do it, and when you take some smelling salts and it doesn't jerk your head right up, you usually need a little more time.
Third down. 10 seconds. You don't worry about first down. You worry about the big one. They go again on top. Harper has this one. Complete. The clock still running. Can they get it stopped? 2 seconds. They did get it stopped. They used their last timeout. That gets them in Jackie's field goal range.
Well, Jason Garrett.
Bonioles, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jason Garrett listened to his wife. She said, I don't mean to tell you what to say, but if you ever need anything, I'd just throw it high to Alvin Harper. And he's tried that about 5 or 6 times this first half.
Chris Bonio has the Dallas three-pointer already. Try to make it 17-6 with 2 seconds to go.
Alvin Harper may have a crack transverse process, but he can sure get up in the air. He had Terrell Buckley just backed up there where Buckley wasn't even in a position to jump yet. He didn't have to jump as high because the 2 defenders were going back and didn't have their feet set to jump.
This by Bonio from 37 yards away. Novacek is the holder. Inside the right upright. Good. 17-6 at the end of the first half. That's the end of the first half with the score. Green Bay 17, Dallas 6. This Fox NFL special will continue after this message from your local Fox station.
A shocking scandal rocks Springfield.
Homer sleeps nude in an oxygen tent.
Hey, that's a half-truth.
The tabloids are out to expose him.
I like it better when they're making fun of people who aren't me.
The media wants to ruin him.
Maybe this whole thing will blow over.
Nothing ever blows over for me.
And even his friends are selling him out.
This is so depressing. My only hope is this homemade Prozac.
Why is Homer public enemy #1?
Come on, I'm a decent guy.
Find out on a brand new Simpsons Sunday.
You're watching a Fox NFL special.
Not so long ago, Honda Accord and Toyota Camry were considered standards in the industry. Yet in the last 2 years, Dodge Intrepid has received more awards from the major automotive press than either of them. At a time when other companies were trying to catch up, we said, hey, why not pass? Now get up to $1147 in total savings and package values during the Dodge Intrepid equipment sale.
Its space is limitless. Its silence is deafening. Its movements are graceful. Yet its power is undeniable. What is it?
Save room for Cosby and The Simpsons tonight after the game.
This is the Dockers halftime. 100% cotton, wrinkle-free Dockers.
And welcome back to Hollywood, California, and the Dockers halftime report. A full house here in Studio 7, and we will get to our experts in just a second. But first, let's bring you up to date on the early game played here on Thanksgiving Day. It was Detroit keeping its playoff hopes alive with a 14-point victory over Buffalo. Happy fans in Detroit.
Big game for Detroit. Needs this game to get back to 6-6. A little gadget play. You know they're desperate. Barry Sanders up. 8 people come up. No safety in the middle of the field, and there's Herman Moore. 51-yard TD reception. Lions up by 7. Yes, Fonts is happy. Give it to Barry with the happy feet up the middle. Around to the outside. 4-yard TD run for Barry Sanders. Kelly back over on the sideline. Willie Clay, third-year starter out of Georgia Tech. His second interception of the season. Both of them in this game. Returns that one for a touchdown. 35-21. Detroit.
Detroit improves to 6-6. Troy Aikman did not play. Of course, we know he's injured.
And there's a little pass, as you heard John Madden say. This is one thing that Jason Garrett doesn't do is throw well to the outside, but this guy does. Little pick route. Sterling Sharp in motion. No one can stay with him. Kevin Smith trailing. And you see Green Bay go up on top, leading this game 17-6.
17-6. Jimmy, I got to ask you, a little surprised that you haven't seen Rodney Peete in the first half, or what?
Yeah, JV, I really felt that once they got down, Rodney Peete would go into the ball game. Rodney Peete threw the ball extremely well yesterday, and so he's ready to play. Now, they've got Tommy Hudson, who they signed this week, and put him $9,000 over the cap. Now, they'll probably have to cut somebody, to get back under the cap. I look to see Pete go back into the ball game.
Yeah, Reggie White, 2 knockdowns, 2 hurries, 1 sack, and 3 tackles. Big game for him. And as you said, Favre needs to go down the field. They need to unbridle this kid in the pregame show.
All right. 12 of 16 is Favre since he got hit in the face. The blood comes down, 2 touchdowns, 12 of 16. You hit the guy in the face, and all of a sudden you wake him up.
And the way Reggie White is playing, you don't mess with God, do you? Hey, you know what? Coming up at halftime, we're going to talk with Buddy Ryan. Terry talks a big game, said some things that we thought he was going to talk to Buddy Ryan about, did not. Show you what we're talking about when we come back.
That's a low.
Seinfeld and Mad About You won't be on this Thanksgiving, but Fox has brand new holiday episodes. First,
I'm going in.
Martin's cooking Thanksgiving dinner. Then, Evie D guest stars.
Some people are born big, some people just eat a lot. Which one is it? Matt, I just want to know if I need to cut in front of him in the buffet line.
On Living Single, and he was assigned to be her bodyguard. But she wants him for much more. New York Undercover. It's a night of special episodes tonight.
It started on a muddy field in Canton, Ohio, 75 years ago. And over those years, professional football has become America's passion.
In this 75th anniversary season of the National Football League, we have a great many accomplishments that our teams, owners, and players are proud of, on the field and in the communities across the nation.
NFL Charities is making a difference in the lives of people.
In times of natural disasters, NFL Charities is there, helping people in need. In recent years, they've allocated more than $15 million to vital programs. The Vince Lombardi Cancer Research Center, the Miami Project, and educational initiatives. The United Negro...
Evening, it was announced that an NFL Charities grant was made to the National Hispanic Scholarship Fund, established in 1975. This organization has helped more than 20,000 Hispanic Americans attend college. NFL Charities was created so that the NFL clubs could collectively make grants to worthy national causes. In recent years, NFL Charities has made grant commitments of more than $15 million. All right, this Sunday, one game that some of you will see, the Chicago Bears traveling to Phoenix to take on the Arizona Cardinals. After winning 5 of their last 8 games, Buddy Ryan has his team thinking playoffs, but the fans are still wondering, where's the offense? Terry and I had a chance to talk with Buddy earlier today, and I asked him whether all the talk about him not caring about the offense is true.
You can't believe that because, I'm the head coach here, not the defensive coordinator. Ronnie Jones is the defensive coordinator, and our offense, I think that what happened, I might have overevaluated the talent on offense, but we'll take care of that after the season's over.
You've got a stable of running backs there. But yet you brought in a running back last week, played him, 3 practices, and he played. Does it concern you at all about upsetting some of the guys you've got in the stable there, buddy?
Yeah, I worry about them upsetting me. I ain't worried about upsetting them. They win, I'll be all right. If they don't, they're going to be gone.
Buddy, you started out 0-3. What turned this football team around?
I think our bye week really, we challenged some people, and they answered the challenge and on offense, and our defense has really been playing good football all year for us.
Buddy, you've had Schrader start, you've had Berline as a starter for the Cardinals. Who is the ideal Buddy Ryan quarterback?
Joe Namath.
Joe Namath. Why?
Yeah. Well, because he wins world championships.
He only won one, buddy.
Well, that's all right. He was a big reason for it. He wasn't one of those guys that was carried in there by other people.
Buddy, get by the Bears, and then on your schedule, the 4 remaining teams all have losing records. Cincinnati, Atlanta, Washington, and Houston coming up. Win those, you're 10-6. Have you addressed your football team with, if we are 10-6, we're going to make the playoffs, maybe play Philadelphia, maybe play the Bears again?
Well, that's, we've already talked about that. I've told them all year to take 10-6 to get in the playoffs, and I believe that. Some of our writers out here who know much more about those things than I do think 9-7 will get it done. But we feel like we're good enough to play with anybody and to win. And hopefully, we're even thinking if we get by the Bears, which we got to do, we might have a home playoff game, which would even be better.
Buddy, from all of us here at Fox NFL Sunday, we thank you very much, and happy Thanksgiving Day to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you all for coming out to the Valley.
All right, as a matter of fact, the Chicago Bears will be in the Valley against Arizona on Sunday. You see the other games as well, the Giants and Washington Rams against San Diego. Early games include Chicago, make that Philadelphia, at Atlanta, Tampa Bay at Minnesota. Hey, folks, we'll see you back with more Doctor's Halftime in a bit.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
Pearson makes the catch. Touchdown! He's gone! Touchdown!
It is. Yes, he held on the ball.
He's going to go! He's going over! Pass caught by Clark. Not a touchdown.
The greatest season in NFL history.
In their 75th anniversary season, NFL owners and players have a message for all football fans.
You're watching a Fox NFL special.
It's the test. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience.
Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys.
And the National Football League is prohibited. So, Gene, I give thanks for you. It's Thanksgiving.
I give thanks for you, Roger, but what do you think about Madden and Summerall?
Those guys have been ripping us off. You got the big guy that waves his hands around all the time.
Then you got the tall guy always in control.
Come on, Pat, why don't you wave your hands once in a while?
I do. I will. I have. Happy Thanksgiving.
When I looked at that, I never knew which one I would be or which one you would be. Now I know.
Do you?
Well, I guess they just told me.
This first half highlight is brought to you by MCI, proof positive.
I'll tell you, if you're looking for something that's MCI and proof positive, I think it's this move by Reggie White. I mean, one arm or two arms, this is one of the great moves that I've ever seen.
Would you classify that as a move or just a run over?
No, it was a move because of what he did with his right arm. I mean, bringing that right arm and just bringing Larry Allen up and to the side. The run over was the other part of it. It was kind of a run over with a move.
Yeah. A double dose by Reggie White.
That's why Reggie White's the best. You know, of all the defensive linemen that have ever played this game, I think there's a place in that group for Reggie White.
If there isn't, there should be. Chris Jackie to kick off.
Got to put his mouthpiece in first. You never, ever kick off without your mouthpiece on.
He is a kicker.
Because if you kick a bad one, you're going to have to make a tackle.
Line drive to Kevin Williams. Stumbling, still on his feet is Kevin Williams. Got one man to beat. Out of bounds, and the special teams did their job as Doug Evans finally got him out of bounds.
That's when he needed the mouthpiece. And Kevin Williams, you take the ball, he takes it up into his wedge. Then he makes a move right there. Then he picks up another convoy here. Picks up 3 blockers, uses them, gets them, sets up everything, and then right here, he just runs out of room. Another great return.
87 yards by Kevin Williams, and he's got him back where it is first and goal on the 5.
The Cowboys are going to be successful. It has to be. This is what we said earlier. It has to be special teams and defense. You can't put the whole thing on Jason Garrett's shoulders.
Jason Garrett still the quarterback. 2 tight ends. Emmett Smith. Touchdown Dallas, his 16th of the year. He's hurt his foot.
He lost his shoe anyway, Pat.
That's all it was. He's not hurt. Boy, it doesn't take long to get back in the game, does it?
And he could be hurt, too. I mean, he could have lost his shoe and be hurt. Hey, Kevin Williams put him in position to do it. Emmitt Smith finished it off.
Bonio for the extra point. 17-13.
Started to the right, cut it back to the left.
There's where he lost his shoe, but kept going. Emmitt Smith scored. Bonio to kick it off. 17-13. Green Bay leads. And out of the pack comes Torrey Harris. Bonio knocked him out of bounds. Bring it right back.
We're going to watch a touchdown again, Pat. You're going to see as they start this way, everything goes this way. And then they catch it right here, and then 2 and 8 gets these 2, and then Emmitt Smith can cut back to this side. But you see, if we can just stop right there, you see everyone does this, and look at this lane that Emmitt Smith has back to that side. Now, the interesting thing here, the Cowboys were down by 11, and it says when you're down by 11 in that chart that you should go for 2. They kick the extra point.
The Packers come back with a good kickoff return of 57 yards, and they get back in Dallas territory. Reggie Cobb. Larry Brown made the stop.
Yeah, as you watch this run back here, you're going to see a picture here you don't see too often. That's a kicker going paint to paint. Bonio just led with his head. You know, usually kickoff guys today in today's game don't run down and lead with their head.
No. And they usually, if they do, don't kick very long.
And in the old days, they used to lead with their head. They didn't even have face masks.
You're standing next to evidence of that. Incomplete. Far for West. He had him open and he had room to run.
Yeah, Brett Favre, we looked at, how he moved the ball around the first half. 1 for 2, deep in that touchdown. 1 for 1 in the middle, 0 for 1 deep right, under 15 yards, 2 for 2 to the left, 4 to 6 to the middle. And his biggest part was throwing to the right, 6 out of 8, and 1 touchdown.
And that touchdown throw was a heck of a throw. Green Bay, 3rd down at the Dallas 30. Favre back to throw it. That's Sterling Sharp, and he's close to scoring, and is inside the 5, and touchdown Green Bay. They come right back.
Well, we said before the half, you could just see Brett Favre getting that confidence. He was getting that rhythm. He was in sync, and he has it, and he kept it through the halftime and brought it out within the second half. Sterling Sharp was so big and strong and such a good runner, he ran right by James Washington. James Washington has to make that play when Sterling Sharp catches the ball. Washington didn't make the play.
Jackie for the extra point. Sterling Sharp just scored his third touchdown of the day. The third from Jackie. Packers lead.
For me, of family and of being together with my teammates, and I'd just like to wish a happy Thanksgiving and a happy family gathering to all of those who are sitting out there watching this game today.
The day after Thanksgiving, there won't be any leftovers because Fox is unleashing Beethoven. Special movie presentation Friday at 8, 7 Central.
A lot of fireworks in a hurry. 24-13, Green Bay over Dallas. Jackie set to kick off. Dallas scored. Green Bay got the good return, came right back and scored. Favre to Sharp for the third time today. Kevin Williams again at the 8. Not much doing this time. Corey Harris made the hit that brought him down.
Let's watch the touchdown again, Pat. Here's Sterling Sharp here. He's going to come up and catch a ball in here. Now, that'll happen, but James Washington has to make that tackle. He has to take an angle and make that tackle. And Sharp is so big and strong that he doesn't let you do that. You see, he gets by here. Now he's in the middle. Now he catches the ball. Washington takes a terrible angle, misses a tackle, and that's 20 yards that Sterling Sharp runs just because he's a good receiver and a very strong runner and a poor tackle.
Most points scored against the Cowboys this year. Here's Jason Garrett back to throw. Gets it to Harper. Outside the 30, about the 32. Buckley and George Kuntz.
Yeah, we were talking about that 2-point thing, Pat. If you look at the score, 24-13 now. The chart, you know, they have a chart for when you go for 1 and when you go for 2. And the chart says if you're down by 11 and you score, you should go for 2. Because then that's going to put you within a field goal.
Down by 11 again.
Right, so they didn't do it last time when they were down by 11. They just went for the 1. Now we'll see if they can score again, if they will go for the 2.
Harper in motion. Emmitt Smith left side. Not much. He needed about 1.5 yards for a first.
Emmitt Smith.
Don't know if he got it or not.
33-yard line.
You can just watch Nate Newton and Stepnoski get a real good double team. Then Nate comes off, and again, all Emmitt Smith has to do is get in there behind number 61, and you're going to come close to getting the first down.
And that's what they did, come close. Third about a foot, it looks like.
Old Nate does a lot of things. I mean, he blocks man, he doubles, he comes off. He's a very smart player. He pulls. He's good in the open field. He's just a good football player.
First down this time as Darrell Johnston is knocked forward by the tailback behind him, Emmitt Smith.
That's what you always tell the lead blocker if you're going to lead to get in and get out of the hole. The Moose kind of stayed in the hole that time, and Emmitt Smith had to knock him out of the hole. I think Darrell Johnston is getting to be appreciated now. I mean, he's getting to be a Pro Bowl player, and you know, for all the blocking and catching and all the things that he does, but that job is not an easy job.
No, it isn't. Not much glory, not nearly as much as goes to the man behind you. Here's Garrett. Drops it outside to Smith. And Emmitt dives up to about the 39 before he's knocked down by Bryce Popp and George Kuntz.
There's a flag.
Flag on the play. And the reaction of the crowd has got to be against Green Bay.
I think it is. I think it's roughing the passer. It was back in that area. They were doubling Reggie White that time, Pat. Derek Kennard came out to help Larry Allen, so that's one of the halftime adjustments they made.
See what happened to Garrett.
Yeah, it was on Sean Jones, I guess is what he called right there.
Garrett back to throw it. Going deep. He's got Harper. Harper's going to score. Flag on the play. Penalty marker down. They might bring it back. Like they're going to. They're still standing at middle field. In the middle of the field, three of the offensive players, or two of the offensive players for Dallas. Touchdown, they're saying.
Holding, number 20, defense. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Touchdown is official. Here it is.
Jason Garrett learned one thing. There's Terrell Buckley there. I guess that was a holding penalty. And again, Harper is so big and strong. He just gets behind Buckley, and Jason Garrett just throws it up there. And now it'll be interesting to see if the Cowboys are going to go for two.
They're going to go for two. You're right, John.
Down by 11, it says go for two. The first time they were down by 11, they didn't. This time, they're going for two. Because, again, if they get to two, that puts them within field goal.
10:45 left to play in the third quarter. 24-19 the score. They're going for two. Garrett fumbles forward. Flag on the play. Penalty marker down. Let's wait and see.
Jerry Switzer's trying to get his stuff tangled up there, untangled there. That's the first time the Cowboys went for two.
Holding. Number 55, defense. Half the distance to the goal.
Against Fred Strickland. They'll try again.
Yeah, now you get to the 1-yard line. And now I think it's a running down. Now I would just give the ball to Emmitt Smith. He'll find a yard in there for you somewhere.
I would think the odds are pretty good from the 1-yard line that you're going to get in if you give the ball to Emmitt Smith. 2-point conversions. This is when to go for what you were talking about a minute ago.
I think now the Moose is probably going to lead this one in there, and Emmitt Smith's probably going to follow him.
Emmitt Smith? I don't know. Jason Garrett says he made it. But he's not wearing a striped shirt.
The officials haven't signaled anything yet.
Yes, they have. 24-21. Emmitt Smith from behind.
All he needs is a yard. They're going to run that lead. Good lead block by Daryl Johnston. I'll tell you, it looked like Emmitt Smith, when he crossed that plane, didn't even have the ball.
There's the ball there.
He gets it back, but he lost it for a second.
Maybe he brought it back.
I don't know. Maybe the officials are talking about that now. Because you have to get in the end zone, but you have to have the ball with you, and you have to have control of the ball.
Well, did he get control on the second try?
I think he did.
Jerry Bartwright wants him to get away, and let's call the rest of the officials over and talk it over again.
I see number 26 is shaking his head. Now the other official's shaking his head. I see two guys shaking their heads no. Now we have to find out what no means.
The try is no good.
Try is no good.
That's what no meant.
Was fumbled short of the goal line and recovered by someone other than the fumbler. This is the special fumble rule. Only the ball carrier could have legally recovered. The point is no good. Timeout.
Who did recover? It looked like Emmitt Smith got
I think
back.
they said Mark Stepnowski. You see, now Emmitt loses it right there on top. Now he's the only guy that can get it. And the guy that ends up with it is number 53, Mark Stepnowski. And he can't recover it.
No good then. So the score remains 24-19. Again, a happy Thanksgiving. 24-19, Green Bay. Dallas to kick off. Bonio. Corey Harris and Darrell Thompson back to Bonio's kick. Darrell Thompson. At the 30. This game summary brought to you by Budweiser. Sharp has 3 touchdown catches, all from Favre. Favre 15 out of 22. Garrett 11 of 20, 171 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Green Bay ball at their own 30. 24-19 is the Packer lead. From the 31, Brett Favre, the quarterback. Reggie Cobb deep. Handoff Cobb. Spins away from one. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Pat, on tap for some of our viewers on Sunday on Fox, the Eagles look to get off their backs after 2 straight losses as they play in Atlanta, where the Falcons welcome back Andre Rison to the flock after a 1-game suspension. That'll be coming up on Sunday right here on Fox. Back to Dallas, Pat and John.
2nd and 8, Green Bay. Favre back to throw it. Tight end went. Not enough for the first as he's knocked backwards by Darren Smith.
And James Washington was in on that one too, Pat. He was the guy that missed that tackle on Sterling Sharp at the 20 when Sharp went in to score. That time he got his angles right and his shoulder right and his knees bent and hip flexed.
But he got to get his shirt tail in.
Yeah, well, that'll be a fine. Maybe, in fact, maybe he hit him so hard he got his shirt tail knocked out.
3rd and about 2. 1 make it. 3 wide receivers for the Packers. Favre takes the handoff, dropped the ball, recovered in time to throw it, but incomplete.
That was that bootleg he was going to try on Charles Haley. It didn't work. Haley's playing the other side. Haley's playing to Brett Favre's right. See, he'd seen that bootleg before. Favre goes to bootleg, stumbled, fumbled, fell, and threw. And Haley was zeroing in on him.
That's a new term. Stumble, fumble, fell, and threw.
He did all 4 of those.
Yeah.
He did them with big eyes because he saw number 94.
Craig Hendrick, the punter, to Kevin Williams. Just barely makes the catch. Sort of a knuckleball. He got up and tried to run, but he realized no one had hit him. But then they did. So that's where the Cowboys will start. Head. Today's event, it's piloted by Steve Tomlin of London, England. And John, I thought you wouldn't go up there. What are you doing?
I don't know. That's some other guy.
Looks a lot like you.
They ought to have turkeys. They ought to fill that whole blimp, take the helium out and fill it up with turkeys and go feed everyone.
What a heck of an idea. This is Emmett Smith. Emmett by Sean Jones. Picked up about 7.
Sean Jones has been active today, too. You have Reggie White on one side, Sean Jones coming from the other side. He was the one that got that 15-yard penalty, that roughing penalty the last time, roughing the quarterback that put the Cowboys in pretty good field position. But he's been having a good battle over there all day with Mark Tuinan.
2nd and 2. Darrell Johnston. 2nd carry of the day for him, stopped by Bryce Paup. Gilbert Brown in the middle of that Green Bay defense.
That's what a nickel defensive back and special teams guy, that's the way he rests if you nickname the Shark.
Do you have to be nicknamed the Shark to
Shark
to relax like that?
To cross your legs, put your feet up on a table, and cross your arms. I mean, that's never been done in football before.
Not at the same time.
And then some coach comes and draws upside down to him. That's football in the 90s, Pat.
Yeah.
You sit down, put your legs up on the table, take it easy, cross your legs, and the coach draws upside down for you.
Cowboys get the first down. Up at the 28. Green Bay leading 24-19, 8:10 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Must win for that group and for Dallas. Deep. Incomplete. Flag on the play was intended for Michael Irvin.
That was Doug Evans was with him. And again, you had the bumping by Irvin, and the bumping by Evans. And they all stand around and talk about who they're going to call the bumping on.
You have it every time.
And that's why I think they encourage you to throw that pass.
Yeah.
You just got to keep throwing that thing up there. And then you got the conference call, the conference group, or the conference, whatever they call this. I'm not sure what this one's all about.
A lot of these going on.
I don't like this. You know, they used to have instant replay.
Why
I think
not?
it's better than this.
Why not have instant replay if you're going to do this?
It's like the two-point play. They call it good, then they meet and they say no and call it no good. All get together, decide what this is. Now they'll tell us.
Maybe.
Pass interference. Number 33, defense. First down.
Doug Evans.
And that's number 33 is Doug Evans. You see, Irvin has that right hand out. He's trying to knock Evans' left hand. You see him push him a little with the right, then he puts his right up there. I can see why Evans is complaining there. I mean, Irvin just takes him. He just has his right arm up around his head.
Uses him for a ladder.
Yeah, and then they pull Evans down and then call the penalty on poor old Evans. Whew, that is a terrible call.
First and 10. And here's Emmett Smith on first and 10. Maybe he got 2.
Yeah, here's Doug Evans. He's looking up at the replays that we were just looking at.
How can you say that you call that on me?
Well, yeah, and he's right. I mean, the officials are nice guys. In fact, we had our turkey dinner last night, and all the officials were there, and you know, and eating with us, and nice and everything. But that was a bad. I mean, they blew that one.
Novacek on the move. He's been quiet today. Pivot from Garrett to Darrell Johnston, incomplete.
Yeah, Reggie White's still making that move on Larry Allen, though. You know, that right arm.
Why stop?
But Allen's handling it a little better now. Watch Allen here. I mean, he's not really stopping the move when Reggie comes, but he's keeping both feet on the ground just a little bit. Well, no, he isn't really.
You tried.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he stayed with him just a little better, but I mean, Reggie just hits him when that right arm comes up. He just brings both his feet out of the ground, and Larry Allen weighs 330 pounds.
It's like a club. 3rd and 8. Here's Garrett. No time. Running to get out of bounds, and does, and hit out of bounds, and here come the flags. That was way out of bounds. George Kuntz.
That's a tough one for Kuntz. I mean, they were chasing him.
Unnecessary roughness. Late hit out of bounds. 53 defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
See, Jason Garrett is trying to stay in, He's tiptoeing down that line, and then just as he stepped out, Kuntz hit him. I mean, that's a tough one for Kuntz. It really is. I mean, I know it looks bad because he gave him a pretty good hit, but Jason Garrett was trying to stay in bounds, and he was trying to, you know, tight rope that thing. Is that the word, tight rope, tight walk?
That's
tight
good
rope
enough.
Walk. You know, that means down the line.
I know what you mean.
And that's what Kuntz read, and so Kuntz had to finish it off so they didn't cut back inside.
43 of these yards on this drive have been against Green Bay for penalties. 1st and 10. That was 3rd and long yardage, and that one hurt. Here's Emmett Smith. And he's got no place to go. Stopped by John Jurkovic. Jurkovic is hurt. I believe it's Jurkovic. I'm not sure. Gilbert Brown is the man hurt.
Yeah, you see, here's Gilbert Brown here. Jurkovic is the guy that's next to him. Brown's going against Kennard there. Plays off him well. He just starts to make the tackle and just missed him, and it looked like he hyperextended some stuff.
Yep.
It's Wendy's. Fresh. Look at the rule.
Brown heads over to the sideline. Hopefully nothing too serious.
Well, when you weigh that much and
Yeah.
you get, you know, part of you going one way and the other part going the other way on artificial turf, something has to give, and it's usually a joint.
2nd and 12. Garrett will throw it. Novacek inside the 5, fumbles it, picked up by Darrell Johnston. Novacek was down.
Well, that's one throw Jason Garrett can do. That's that thing. Remember Phil Simms threw that ball so many times?
To Bavaro.
It's just right here. It's just going to come right as a seam pattern coming right up here. You see Novacek just breaks loose, gives a little move, and then Jason Garrett hits him just inside the numbers. That ball came out of there. I guess it was after he was down.
Novacek has had a problem with a pulled abdominal muscle. He hasn't been as effective as in years past because of that. Darrell Johnston gets in.
And now the chart says, Pat, that the Cowboys should go for 2 again in this situation.
Well, here come Harper and Irvin. So they must be going to do that.
Well, of course, the first time they were supposed to do it, they didn't do it. The second time they were supposed to do it, they did do it, but didn't make it because they had a fumble. And then again, according to the charts, they're supposed to do it in this situation.
25-24. Dallas leads Green Bay. Garrett is 4 out of 5 this half. Let's see what happens here. Handoff is to Emmett Smith. He didn't get in again. Not successful.
Hey, this Packer defensive line penetrates. They play strong at the point of attack. They take on that lead block. There was no place on the lead block, and then the safety, Teague, was right up there next to him. What's George Teague, number 31? You see, after the lead is taken on, then there's no one for him. But that was a good job of the line staying low, the linebackers getting in there and taking on the lead, and then the safety mopping up anything that would be left over there.
So it's Dallas 25, Green Bay 24 on this Thanksgiving Day. This Sunday, Fox NFL Sunday begins at noon Eastern with 9 a.m. Pacific with the #1 pregame show in America. Then Fox NFL Sunday continues with regional action beginning at 1 o'clock Eastern as John and I will be in Atlanta. The Eagles take on the Falcons. Others will see Tampa Bay at Minnesota. Then at 4 Eastern, Chicago battles Arizona. The Giants are at Washington, and the Rams face the Chargers. Check your local listing for the game in your area right here on Fox Sports. Cowboys leading by 1. Touchdown to Darrell Johnston. Bonio, short kickoff again. Darrell Thompson. Cut down at the 30 by Derek Brownlow.
Yeah, that was a heck of a throw by Jason Garrett, and there was really some move by Novacek, too. That was the big play that got the Cowboys down there. Of course, there was a couple of rough penalties on there.
John Jerkovich.
I bet you Doug Evans is still wondering how did they call pass interference against me on that drive.
I bet he is. He'll be wondering. 1st and 10. Flag on the play. Right offensive tackle of the Packers jump.
Full start. Number 68, offense.
Joe
Prior to the
Sims.
snap, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Joe Sims was the guy last week who was holding in the end zone and against Buffalo and got a safety against the Packers. Now these fans are into it. I mean, now they're getting fired up. They know Thanksgiving Day, their teams ahead, quarterbacks out. They know if they can get by this game, 10 days off, get rested up, get Troy back, they got some things going.
1st and 15. Favre. The rush. He hits Sterling Sharp coming across for a short gain.
He almost hit the umpire. The umpire is the official who lines up behind the defense. Sterling Sharp was using the umpire. He ran right at the official, and then Favre threw the ball. And if the official doesn't duck, watch the umpire. He's right there. Favre is going to come across. You see right there? He ducks. Favre throws the ball right at the umpire. The umpire ducks, and on the other side of the umpire is Sterling Sharp.
Just appeared. Second down. Favre to throw it. Going deep. Incomplete, and no flag this time. Robert Brooks, the intended receiver, covered by Kevin Smith, and that's good coverage. You can't do it much better. But there is a flag on the other side of the field.
And it's the other side, and it's where Sterling Sharp was against Larry Brown.
Illegal contact foul on number 24, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Now, Larry Brown was on the other side. Here it is isolated. This is on the side away from where the ball was thrown. Larry Brown hits him. Again, can do that for 5 yards. After 5 yards, he can't. You see, he did it that second time. Then he put his hands out. Sterling Sharp was just running right into him anyway.
He just ran right into him. Edgar Bennett on 1st and 10 is the lone setback. Favre pats his left hip. That means go this way, I guess. Haley got a hand on him. Darren Smith and Larry Brown take him out of bounds.
One thing about these two Cowboy corners are, the safeties are big hitters, but these corners will come up and force and support if you ever do get a sweep to the outside. That's what Larry Brown did that time. Usually they don't get around the end or linebacker, but if they do, these two corners are pretty good at that.
Second down and 7. Hard to throw it. Pass caught by Mark Shmura. Complete, not a first down. James Washington there to wrap him up.
You know one thing, we're still here in the third quarter. The Packers are down by 1. That Sterling Sharp has been so hot today, and that combination of Favre and Sharp has been working so well that they aren't going to get away from that. Sterling Sharp has already scored 3 touchdowns today.
3rd and 3, and they'll be looking for him this time.
I would be if I were the Cowboys, but I would be if I were Brett Favre.
He's facing Larry Brown. Favre looking in that direction. He's hit. Favre was just as he let go. Sharp is calling for a pass interference penalty, which he didn't get. And the Packers will have to punt.
Yeah, we said how good a cover guy Darren Smith is. You're going to watch number 59 there. See, Sharp is trying to come across and get behind that umpire again and just get that first down. But he didn't get by Darren Smith. Well, I don't know that he wasn't hit before that ball got there. That umpire has to look the other way. Sterling Sharp is using him.
The umpire was looking backwards away from Favre.
We have to watch the lineman.
And Williams signals fair catch. Makes it at about the 23.
You take a turkey and you just grow it, and then somehow you kill it, and then you put it on the oven. Put it in a pan and fry it. Cook it for 3 minutes. She stuffs the turkey with hot dogs.
I won't buy turkey cooked more than 3 minutes.
Well, I did, in the turkey that we cooked on the bus, we did all of the above.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We fried it,
killed it,
cooked it for 3 minutes, killed it,
grew it.
Yep, stuffed some hot dogs in it. You can't beat it. I mean, there's nothing that tastes better than that.
Here's Jason Garrett looking for something. Novacek, I believe. And he is hammered out of bounds.
That was one of the things that Ernie Zampese moved up for Jason Garrett. They have all these plays in their offense, and then they just move them up or down depending on who they're playing. And he said that, you know, there's a lot of movement stuff like that waggle and you know, sprints and stuff they don't use for Troy, but they do have in their offense. They've moved up this week for Jason Garrett to use.
1st and 10, Cowboys at the 33. They lead by a point. That's Emmitt Smith. Up to about the 35. Don Davey made the stop.
Don Davey made the stop.
Chris, or John Jett, excuse me. The punter getting loose.
They always have something going, don't they, those Kevin? They're always doing some little thing with the ball, kicking it up, kicking things, kicking cups, kicking it and catching it.
Kick them up straight. 2nd down. Jason Garrett for Harper. Flag on the play, and somebody is pushing again. This one's going to be against Harper, I believe.
Usually when they come back, it is.
Number 80, offense.
Usually when the
penalty, 2nd down.
When the official calls it and then runs back to the referee to tell him, it's usually on the offensive guy. See Harper push there with his left hand, push there with his left hand again, then the ball was thrown short. But they've been doing this all day. I mean, that's what Michael Irvin did earlier. Harper's been doing it. The one thing, Terrell Buckley didn't touch Harper at all, though, on that play.
Makes it 2nd and 18. Detroit beat Buffalo earlier today, 35-21. Keep their playoff hopes alive. Buffalo, of course, still alive in the playoff hunt, but chances a little bit more slim now. Garrett calls a timeout. 25-24. Dallas over Green Bay. 1:54 left to play in the 3rd quarter.
You know, it's something that, you know, Troy Aikman is probably, in fact, he had a birthday the other day.
Monday.
Yeah, all 3 of these Dallas Cowboy quarterbacks are 28 years old. Aikman is the youngest. Rodney Pete's in the middle. And the oldest of them is Jason Garrett. He's the oldest quarterback on this team. And he's really never played before. I mean, he came out of Princeton. In fact, he went from Princeton to Columbia, back to Princeton. Then he went to New Orleans. He was with the Saints. Then he went back to Princeton as a coach. Then he went to the World League. Then he went to Canada. And then he came here. So Jason Garrett is what you would call the consummate professional football player.
And also very good at buying airplane tickets.
I mean, football is his profession. You know, his father, it was his father's profession, his brother's profession.
Still his father's profession.
His father's a scout with the Dallas Cowboys.
So it's 2nd down. Jason Garrett returns. 20 years ago, on Thanksgiving Day here in Dallas, who can forget the Mad Bomber, Clint Longley, bringing the Cowboys from the down to beat Washington. There's Jason Garrett today. Garrett back to throw. Outside Emmitt Smith. Irvin's the blocker in front of him. Emmitt Smith going. Johnston got a bounce. Emmitt Smith finally taken down inside the 10 by George Teague. .68 yards.
That's what a runner does. You get the ball to him in the open field. You'll see Emmitt Smith is in the backfield now. Then he's just going to go out. He's going to loop out to his left. You see Jason Garrett looks downfield, hits him in the backfield. Now this is what makes a runner a runner. He runs through stuff. He reads blocks. He knows where the defense is coming from. He sets up stuff. And that's what makes Emmitt Smith Emmitt Smith.
He got blocks from Irvin and Darrell Johnston. Downfield that sprung him.
And he always knew where Irvin was and where Johnston was, and he knew where the Green Bay Packer defense was. He knew where everyone was on that field. Look at Michael Irvin. He can hardly walk.
2nd and goal from the 8. They fumble the exchange on 1st down. Licking his fingers like pass is coming. What you would expect. Not when you have Emmett Smith. Flag on the play.
And that's in the area of offensive holding. When the umpire calls that, that's the umpire the Packers have been used for their passing game.
Holding, number 61, offense. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Nate Newton called for holding.
Yep, and that was a run right in behind Nate. Here's Nate Newton right here. You see, he comes down on Yurkovich. I don't know. It's not a hold yet. Not a hold yet. I don't know. I mean, he just finished him off there with that right.
That didn't look bad.
No, I think that goes on every play. To me, that's just some guys in the middle of the line thumping. You thump me, I thump you.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score, Dallas 25, Green Bay 24. This Fox NFL special will continue after these messages from your local Fox station.
No, not now. Save it.
Hey, that's early.
No, the guy's eating a turkey leg. That's the one we got to give out to the MVP, and the cameraman ate it. Wrap it up and tell him you didn't eat it.
2nd and goal from the 19. That's Emmett Smith. Touchdown. From 19 yards away. His 2nd of the day.
Isn't it amazing how great players can make it look so easy? Watch Emmett Smith, a little draw trap.
Yep.
Good trap by Derek Kennard. He opened that hole. Emmett Smith read it, hit it, and strutted.
Bonio for the extra point, and it's good. Dallas 32, Green Bay 24.
Loco Razor for our closest shave ever. And by Hager, 100% cotton and wool casual clothing. Hager, stuff you can wear.
14:55 left to play. Dallas leading 32-24 on a touchdown by Emmitt Smith. 2 on the day for Emmitt. Corey Harris taken down on a flag on the play. Matt Vanderbeek. Derek Brownlow back to make the stop.
We have an illegal block, number 56 on the return. That penalty is declined. We have holding number 51 on the return. That penalty is accepted. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Let's go back and look at that touchdown by Emmitt.
Well, here it is. Derek Kennard is going to come across, get a trap here. Stepnoski blocks back. Tuinei comes in and gets a good block here, and this becomes the hole that Emmitt Smith runs through. Watch, boom, the trap, boom, Tuinei there, and then that gave the crack for Emmitt Smith to get through. I mean, that's good timing by a lineman. Stepnoski blocking back, Kennard coming across and trapping, Tuinei faking, and then coming in and getting the linebacker. And while all that was happening, Emmitt Smith timed it perfectly and got in between all that stuff.
The Cowboys lead by 8. Brett Favre back to throw. Rushed by Russell Maryland. Pass almost picked off, intended for Edgar Bennett. Brock Marion. almost had a shot.
Yeah, Brock Marion knows that too,
Yeah.
Pat. If he had that, he had a touchdown. That's why Emmitt Smith is the best. I mean, you know, today he has a bad shoulder, but the whole thing was really on his shoulder. I mean, Jason Garrett is playing well. Their defense had to come up. Their defense struggled a little day, the Cowboy defense. They got some good plays from special teams, but that third thing, Emmitt Smith had to have a big day, and he's delivering that.
2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers for the Packers. They give the ball to Bennett. He's taken down by Tony Tolbert. Those new jerseys the Cowboys are wearing might turn out to be used more often.
I don't know. You think that has anything to do with it? I think it's the guy that puts the jerseys on. I don't know. They got too much of it. They got stars on both shoulders. They got, you know, insignias on the left, insignias on the right. There's too much writing on there for me.
Starting to look like a race car.
Yeah.
3rd and 10. 3 wide receivers again. Favre is sacked by the Dallas defense.
That's Charles Haley. Charles Haley lined up on the left side that time. Got inside of Sims. He just made one of his moves. He usually lines up on the other side. Here's Charles Haley here. He's going to start here. Then he's going to hit this gap right here and jump in that. Watch how Haley does it. He goes in sideways. You see him jump and turn at the same time, and then that jump and turn gives him a torque. And then he just pulled his feet out with one hand.
And Hennings fell on top of him.
Just like you do a turkey leg.
Good kick by Craig Hendricks to Kevin Williams. Starts from the 38. Gets into Green Bay territory to the 47. Dallas 32, Green Bay 24, 13:30 left to play at Texas Stadium. And a happy Thanksgiving. Raining through that hole in the roof at Texas Stadium, 32-24. The Cowboys lead.
Happy Thanksgiving.
That's a hole in the roof that only lets the players get wet and keeps
right.
all the fans dry.
Right. Garrett gives to Smith. And it gets to about the 40, I guess. Right now for a McDonald's game break. Let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Pat, on Sunday here on Fox, Jerome Bettis, the NFC's #3 rusher, will take his quest for 1,000 yards to San Diego, where running back's worst nightmare resides, Junior Seau. That's Sunday right here on Fox. Back to Dallas, Pat Summerall and John Madden.
Russell Maryland over on the sideline. Emmitt Smith got 7 on the carry. 2nd and 3. Smith behind Darrell Johnston. Gets another carry. Emmitt gets the Dallas first down. Up by Yurkovich.
And Emmitt Smith really did it this second half. You can see that they were down 17-6 at halftime. Look at those second half drives. I mean, they stuck with Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
It was a smart move. He got a couple big plays. They had some penalties to help him. Emmitt Smith has now gained over 100 yards.
Don't forget about that big kickoff return by Kevin Williams.
Kevin Williams and these special teams. Bonio got him a couple kicks early to get him on the board.
Garrett to Emmitt Smith. 35, maybe a yard. Fred Strickland made the stop. This is the first game this year that Green Bay defense has allowed a back to rush for 100 yards.
It's the first game that they've played against Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, I think when you go and you have Emmitt Smith in a game and he's going to play the whole game and it's competitive, he's going to get his 100 yards. And if you're going to beat the Cowboys, you better beat them some other way other than counting on stopping Emmitt Smith for under 100 yards.
And that doesn't count. Those yards there don't count that 68-yard run with a pass reception. Garrett going deep for Urban. Flag on the play, but a touchdown Dallas. That flag was way away from the touchdown catch. A flag on the play.
Was way out here in the 20-yard line. I think it was against the Packers. I saw one of the officials signal touchdown. But that shot there, too, Emmitt Smith. That's why Emmitt Smith is so
Number
good.
33, defense.
Touchdown, Michael Irvin.
Because the Packers came on a blitz on that play, Pat, and Emmitt Smith stepped up and picked up the blitzer to let Jason Garrett get rid of the ball. Here's Michael Irvin down here fighting, and then he breaks away. Has a little speed right there to get the step. Jason Garrett throws a perfect pass. And one of those blocks that he got to throw that pass was by Emmitt Smith.
Garrett's had a hot second half. Bonio for the extra point. Novacek holding it good. Dallas 39. Green Bay 24. So much for the highly ranked defense.
Aptiva.
From my family to yours, happy Thanksgiving.
If you like football, you won't want to pass up a special Thanksgiving episode of Martin.
Don't fight it, don't. We got to eat that.
Tonight on Fox.
Dallas 39, Green Bay 24. Bonio bounces one down to the front line. Don Davey returned the kickoff.
Let's watch Jason Garrett's touchdown throw again. Here's Emmitt Smith. We talk about the thing that he does. Here comes a blitz. Emmitt Smith steps up here, gets the blitz, knocks it down, and that lets Jason Garrett, gives him more time or lets him throw the ball. See, Johnston goes in motion. Boom, right up there. Those are the things that Emmitt Smith can do. It's not only run, and it's not only catch, but when you need a blocker, he can make the block that lets you get that touchdown. And then Michael Irvin get the ball and threw it up to his fan. She's the happiest person in this stadium.
3 wide receivers, Green Bay. Edgar Bennett. Favre just dumps it off to him. Garrett this half, John. 7 out of 8, 198 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, he's done an amazing job. I mean, he's a bright guy, knows football, probably knows this football and this offense as well as anyone. Had confidence. I think he got confidence in this second half. So I'll tell you this, the offensive coordinator, Ernie Zampese, played a big part in this, Pat.
Here is Favre. Flag on the play at midfield. Reggie Cobb take it down.
I think the Cowboys came in with things that they could do for Jason Garrett. I think that Ernie did a great job of calling him.
Number 36, offense.
I thought it was interesting. There's Jason Garrett. I thought it was interesting yesterday what Barry Switzer was saying. He was saying he has learned Zampese's offense from Jason Garrett. He stands with Jason during practices and asked him what they're doing, why they're doing this.
Yeah, when Troy Aikman would be in there or Rodney Peete sometimes, Barry Switzer would stand behind the huddle with Jason Garrett and ask him questions about the offense. But then I think Ernie Zampese putting a game plan together, calling the plays, and getting the right ones. There's Ernie right there. I think that he's had as much to do with this victory today as anyone.
If indeed it turns out to be a victory. 10.5 minutes left.
That's right. Someone said it ain't over till it's over, right?
Here's Favre for Mark Shimura. The tight end, the backup tight end, a flag on the play after the catch as he walks away.
Well, James Washington got that hit on Shimura that time that he missed on Sterling Sharp earlier in the game. James Washington, the free safety.
Barry Switzer saying just wrap him up. Most in Cowboy history, 33.
Yeah, they're all, I mean, this is a beat-up team, this Cowboy team. They played on Monday night, and then they went to San Francisco, had a tough game there, came back, played Washington here on Sunday, again on Thursday. These guys want to get through this game and then get that 10-day rest and then make the move on the other end.
There's no unnecessary roughness on the play. Third down.
No unnecessary roughness. There's always roughness. Just a question of is it unnecessary or not.
It was on James Washington. I mean, he just came in and hit Shimura after he caught the ball.
That's what Barry Switzer was talking about to James Washington. Just wrap him up. 3rd and 2. Edgar Bennett behind Brett Favre. Here's Favre. Gets it out to Shimura. And that's the first down, Green Bay. Moving in to the Dallas 44-yard line. Darren Woodson made the stop.
You know, we talked about halftime. Maybe Barry Switzer had to give one of those fired-up talks. You wonder where all the points came from. And everyone thought that this was going to be a low-scoring game. There's no one in the fourth quarter with 9.5 minutes to go thought the Cowboys would be leading 39-24.
First down, Green Bay. Favre back to throw it. Up into the pocket. Fires complete to Robert Brooks. Stopped by Larry Brown.
Favre had to go through a lot to fire that ball. Yeah, if you watch him go back here, he's looking. He has pressure there. He had to step up to get away from Haley and then step up and throw that ball.
And he hummed it.
I know he did, and that's the thing. He had 2 step-ups. One to step up to get away from the rush, and then one to step into the throw to put some mustard on it.
First down, Green Bay at the Dallas 28. These two teams, both of them, are starting to look like 2 tired fighters. Knocked down by Jeffcoat. They're trying to set up a screen left. Jeffcoat saw it coming.
That's one of those things where you're happy, but you're not happy. You're happy that you read it, then you're happy that you knocked it down, but you kind of wish you would have caught the thing. That's Jeffcoat. He's coming up there in the pass rush. Now he's going for the sack. Then he sees it's a screen. Then he goes for the interception. I think that went right between his hands and hit him in the face. That's usually what happens to linemen. You know, you never get a ball, and when you finally get one, you don't know what to do. What? Just put your hand, oh, it just went right through his hand.
2nd and 10.
That's what makes you a lineman.
Favre fakes. Again, throwing left. Finds Sterling Sharp for a gain of about 5. Brings up 3rd and 5. Cowboys leading 39-24. Both these teams, John, have had to play with very little rest. Both Green Bay had to travel. The Cowboys had that schedule you talked about a minute ago. It takes its toll eventually.
Yeah, and I mean, the good news about, playing on Thanksgiving, if you get a win, then you get 10 days off.
Outside to Cobb. Cobb gets past the 20. Doesn't get the first down. Not quite. But they got to go for this one.
And as you said, the Packers had it tough because they played in Buffalo. Then they had to travel to Buffalo for Sunday's game, get back, and then travel here for this game. At least the Cowboys had an advantage in that both of the games were at home. And the other advantage is that they play it every year.
Mike Holmgren wants a timeout. 4th and 1. Long one it is. Today's game is being produced by Bob Stenner and directed by Sandy Grossman. Dallas leading 39-24.
Hager presents new stop in the
4th and 1, and Favre back to throw it. Chased by Haley and Lett. Got his first down at about the 5. Anthony Morgan made the reception. First and goal from there.
That's why Brett Favre is a quarterback and a gambling quarterback. Haley takes an inside move, so he sees it, so he scrambles to the right. You think he could have gotten a first down there because he just needed a yard. 4th down, he still fired it, had that much confidence that that ball had to be completed or the Cowboys would have taken over.
First and goal at the 5. Reggie Cobb, the deep back. Brett Favre to try in a hurry. Looking to run it. Touchdown. Sterling Sharp, 4th of the day from Brett Favre.
Boy, that was good pass protection there because Favre had all kinds of time. I mean, he looked right, looked to the left, and just stayed right there in the middle.
Brett Favre is down.
Yeah, he took a hit when he threw that ball. Watch him. He doesn't get very deep. He looks right, looks back left, and then he's going to come and throw it in the middle, and he gets hit by Jim Jeffcoat just after he throws the ball. But he had a lot of time before Jeffcoat got there, and Jeffcoat got there late. Look, he's looking back this way, looking, and here comes Jeffcoat, and he just decleated him.
Sharp has 9 catches for 122 yards, 4 touchdowns today. Now, John, when the injury is taken care of, the Packers have a choice. I think I saw Mike Holmgren signal to go for 1. It's 39-30. Would you go for 1 or go for 2?
Well, the chart says that you would go for 2 in this situation. But as you said, Mike Holmgren already signaled that he's going to go for 1.
Favre coming out. He was hit by Jim Jeffcoat again. 39-30 the score. And we still have a lot of time left. 7 minutes and 3 seconds.
Yeah, right. And if they kick a field goal, I mean, if they kick an extra point, it's 1. And then, you know, the 2-point.
They're going to go for 1. 39-30. This would make it 39-31. So they got to go for 2 sometime. If they score a touchdown again, that makes it 39-31. Both teams have 2 timeouts left. 7 minutes and 3 seconds left to play. So a lot of time left.
Yeah, that's one way to think, that you get your 1, and I'm sure that's what Mike Holmgren is thinking, and then you leave 8 there that you know you need another touchdown,
right,
and you'll go for 2 when you get the next touchdown.
Game produced today again by Bob Center, directed by Sandy Grossman, studio produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill.
Let's watch a touchdown again. We're going to see Favre just come back here and stand, and he looks to the left, looks to the right, and then Sterling Sharp is just going to be standing right there in the end zone, and he throws the ball to Sharp. See, he has time there. Sharp just uncovers, and now he just comes and stands right there in the end zone. And boom, he just throws the ball to him. Look at him here. See the time? He pumps to the right, steps up a little, and then he finds Sharp just standing there. See, Sterling Sharp just got across the line. Everyone left him. I think they left by that pump by Brett Favre, and Sharp was just standing there. All left him alone, and Sharp found him.
Those 4 touchdowns by Sterling Sharp tie a Green Bay Packer record held by the great Don Hudson, and the 4 touchdown passes by Brett Favre ties a record held by Brett Favre. 39-31. Onside kick. The Cowboys think it might be happening.
I don't think so. I think with 7 minutes, I don't think you have to kick an onside kick.
Jackie kicks away. Kevin Williams at the 16. Sort of walks up to the 25 where Dallas will take over. Their lead, 39-31.
And that's where that 2-point rule comes in. You know, I mean, a year ago you would have thought that there's a really a tough battle for the Green Bay Packers because they need 2 scores. Here, they still only need 1 score and then a 2-point play.
Who expected a game like this high scoring? With all the people hurt, and Jason Garrett, the Dallas quarterback. Colbert was the man in motion. A handoff is to Emmitt Smith, and the Packers react in a hurry. Sean Jones and George Kuntz converge to make the stop.
The Packers have 2 timeouts, and they have over 6 minutes to go, so they have plenty of time to do this. So they have to think, stop the Cowboys, don't let them get a first down. Conversely, the Cowboys have to think, what we need now is we need some first downs. We have to keep working here, get the ball out to the middle of the field, and then open up. You can't have a mistake down in this area.
2nd and 10. 6:15 left to play. The Cowboys will take as much time as they can. It's Emmitt Smith. Left side, outside the 25, a couple of yards. George Kuntz again with an assist from Gilbert Brown. In the first half, Jason Garrett was 8 out of 17, 113 yards, and no touchdowns, 1 interception. In the second half, 7 of 8, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
And I think that, you know, it was 2 things. 1, I think he got more comfortable. And 2, I think he had a halftime to make some adjustments and talk about what they were doing and what they wanted to do the second half. But they still got to play that, too.
Emmett Smith goes out. They go with 3 wide receivers. And Garrett just goes deep. Harper had it, dropped it. And I didn't see any flag. But I think there might possibly should have been one.
Well, you get it all the time. When they get that close, when they get side by side, there's going to be bumping. And then they just throw that jump ball up. Harper just dropped that one.
Yep.
I mean, he knows that one. Jason Garrett, I mean, he's really not getting it out there far enough. It's just a little short, but they still have to be caught.
Sometimes they do that on purpose. They just throw it short. Brooks back deep for Green Bay. Jet to punt it. Sort of a line drive kick to Brooks. Coverage is down in good shape. Packers will take over at their own 36, stopped by Bill Bates. At the end of the game, John and I will select the Miller Lite player of the game. And I don't know who I have in mind at the moment. 39-31, Dallas leading. Depends on who wins, I guess.
I think the player of the game is probably going to be determined between now and the end of the game. If it's the Green Bay Packers, if it's the Dallas Cowboys, it's probably already been determined.
Jason Garrett or Emmett Smith, one of the two. That's Brooks in motion and Favre back to throw it. Pass is caught by Ed West. Picked up about 8. Robert Jones all over him, but West still made the reception.
Although when a guy's had a game like Brett Favre is having, and Sterling Sharp, and, you know, breaking records and scoring touchdowns and catching balls and making runs like Sterling Sharp, that's hard to not consider those guys. Either that guy that threw it there or the guy that caught it, number 84.
You had a look at those numbers by Brett Favre. 2 tight ends again for Green Bay. The protection is good. The pass isn't intended for Sharp, and Favre is lucky that was not intercepted. That's the kind of thing you really don't want to do at this point.
Well, they were looking for that one. I mean, they were all zeroed in on that slant to Sterling Sharp. They were out there waiting for that one.
Here's a guy, Mike Holmgren, who, win or lose, bad streak, good streak, he doesn't change.
No, he's a good coach and he's a good guy.
Edgar Bennett behind Favre on 3rd down. Brett Favre looking, hurries out of the pocket, and taken down from behind by Chad Henning. Now they face the decision as to whether to go for the 1st down or punt it.
That is a big play by Chad Hennings. The Packers started. Chad Hennings is number 95. Just gets a big push in the middle, comes off and makes a dive and just gets the ankle. I think the Cowboys have already made that decision, Pat. They've left their offense in there, and they're going to go for it.
The Green Bay Packers, you mean? Hennings doesn't make that play. Favre can run for a 1st down. 6 for 11 on the year. Favre is back to throw it. Again, the pressure. He's chased by Haley. He fires. The pass is incomplete. Intended for Robert Brooks. And the Cowboys will take over. Larry Brown might have intercepted it. I'm not sure. It didn't matter. It was 1st down anyway. Brown made the play.
It'll be better position if he didn't intercept it. But I think it was ironic that they went for it on 4th down here, because with over 3 minutes to go and 2 timeouts, I think you still have time to punt the ball.
That's a good play by Larry Brown.
Yeah, he just knocked that ball out of there, but the Packers really put everything on that play right there.
3:59 left. Green Bay still has 2 timeouts. This is Emmett Smith. Emmett gets inside the 40 to about the 38. Stopped by Fred Strickland. Green Bay is going to have to start burning some of those timeouts.
Yeah, because they really have 3. They have 2 timeouts, and they're going to get one at the 2-minute. And that's why I was surprised on 4th down, especially after the loss that they didn't punt. You know, and get the Cowboys down, hope that Jason Garrett makes a mistake, you know, if not, and then have better field position, because they gave the Cowboys this field position.
It's 2nd and 6 for Dallas. Jason Garrett is quarterback the whole way. Hands again to Emmett Smith, who hammers it straight ahead past the Packers 35 to about the 34. It'll bring up 3rd and about 3. Troy Aikman has watched. He wore the headset. He said he was going to keep in touch with Ernie Zampese up in the press box and sort of interpret for Jason Garrett, but that didn't last that long.
Yeah, and it was only if Jason Garrett needed interpretation. He said that there's nothing that he hates more as a quarterback than having someone come over and talking to him when he's playing. So he said he decided he's not going to talk to Jason Garrett unless Jason Garrett comes to talk to him.
3rd and 2. Emmett Smith and Darrell Johnson. Emmett gets another carry. Gets the Dallas 1st down. At the 30. Troy Aikman's dad.
Here's Troy Aikman's dad here. He said his dad was going to stay for the whole game. His mother was going to leave because she had to go home at halftime to cook the turkey. He likes that. He's looking at, hey, look, he's telling his buddy. That's his good buddy there next to him. He said, hey, look, there's me. And hey, look, there's my son.
2-minute warning. Dallas leading 39-31, and Green Bay running out of timeout. Good group. George Grapio.
He's right up here with us.
Yeah.
He's right next to us.
That's why I used his name.
Yeah.
It's 1st down, Cowboys. 2 minutes left to play. Dallas leading 39-31. The score at halftime was Green Bay 17, Dallas 6. A lot of things happened in a hurry.
These guys lit up the board.
Emmett again. 1st down again. And out of bounds goes Emmett Smith. Maybe not a 1st down. It's so very close. They had to move the markers.
See big Nate Newton get around there?
Yep.
Yeah, he let him. And, you know, Emmett Smith still has to get some 1st downs. Or watch Nate Newton get in here. Emmett Smith is going to take him and get right behind him. When you see big 61, that's the way the play goes. You go motion with Novacek. There goes your guard. You take a little step. Look how quickly Nate Newton gets out there. He just gets that little bump, and that's the thing that frees Emmett Smith to get that much yardage.
And the 1st down. And Emmett's still playing to about the 15, maybe the 16.
Yeah, I think Emmett has to play in this one. I mean, this isn't one that they have won yet. I mean, they have to keep the ball away from the Packers, not let the Packers get the ball back or score themselves. So this is not the type of place where you start resting players.
And this is timeout Packers, so they'll have 1 left with 1:37 remaining. Both teams have 10 days now to get rested, healed, they hope, and ready for the stretch drive to see who gets into the playoffs. And don't forget, that stretch drive for the Eagles and the Falcons starts this Sunday in Atlanta, where John and I'll be. Tampa Bay plays Minnesota. Minnesota still alive. The Bears in Arizona, the Giants Washington, the Rams in San Diego. That's Sunday. Check your local listing. All here on Fox. 2nd down and about 6, 7. Again, we've said it many times, but we'll say it one more time. There's Larry Lacewell, Barry Switzer. Larry, the director of pro personnel for the Cowboys, and Barry, of course, after 5 years in retirement, called out by Jerry Jones to coach the Cowboys, and quietly has done a very, very fine job. Maybe not so quietly always either.
No, I guess at halftime last week, or Sunday it was, he wasn't that quiet. But, you know, has done a smooth job of keeping this team on track.
Novacek is the move man. Emmett Smith is the ball carrier, and Emmett inside the 15 picked up a couple. Stopped by Leroy Butler. It would be hard to pick an individual, so we're not going to do that on this Thanksgiving Day. We're going to be generous on Thanksgiving Day. Emmett Smith and Jason Garrett, and what an assist they had from the offensive line, and Darrell Johnston, and, well, just about everybody. And for Green Bay, Sterling Sharp, who, as I said, tied Don Hudson's record with the 4 touchdowns. Brett Favre, who threw the 4 touchdown passes, tied his own record. Third down. And 5 at the 14.
And there is a tired big bunch of guys. I mean, I think, you know, the turkey leg, you know, we're still going to have some turkey legs here, and I think this group here has done a pretty good job today.
The offensive line, so has the quarterback, particularly in the second half, and so has number 22. Well, what a job he did.
And, you know, number 22 will appreciate those big guys up in front, and probably more than that, those big guys up front, I know, appreciate 22.
Third down. Mix up in the backfield, and Emmett just says, this is not what exactly I had in mind.
Or Garrett says that wasn't what he had in mind.
No. Well,
but this is a field goal opportunity.
Field goal. Bonio trots out. Novacek will hold. Cowboys will try to put it on ice. Warm up the turkey. Don't put it on ice. 35 yards away for Bonio. The field goal is good by the rookie, Chris Bonio. Barry Switzer said he expected that Bonio would play a big part if the Cowboys were to win. 42-31. He's kicked 3 field goals.
He walked by Barry Switzer and he gave him a slap.
We'll be giving out our turkey leg awards after the game is over. We may not be able to stay on the air because of time restrictions, but we'll tape it and you'll see it on Sunday when we're in Atlanta. The Eagles face the Falcons.
I think a game like this, I think we can give out the legs and the whole body and everything. Just let him take the whole turkey.
Well, we don't want to give him anybody.
Well, I think Nate there. I think you got to give him the whole turkey. I mean, you give him a leg, the leg would be gone before he got to the house.
Somehow the stars look smaller on Derek Kennard's shoulders and Nate Newton's shoulders.
I think Derek Kennard's happy that he played the whole game. A lot of these Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers did too. I mean, they gutted this one up.
Well, those stars are just part of the galaxy on this 2-time Super Bowl championship team, shooting for 3. Never been done.
How would you like to be a turkey and have those guys coming at you, though? I mean, big Derek Kennard, big Nate Newton. You're a turkey sitting there, and here come those guys.
I figured I was going to lose.
You probably already lost if you're a turkey and they're coming.
Kickoff returned by Corey Harris. He is hammered out of bounds by Clayton Holmes. So the Packers score is 42-31. Packers are out of timeouts. 39 seconds left.
What a second half this Cowboy team put together, though, offensively.
Reggie White, what a courageous performance by that man. He believes that he had a broken arm. He thought he had a broken arm against Buffalo. Miraculously, he thinks he was healed by a higher power. And for Reggie, I don't doubt it. Reggie Cobb struggling to get out of bounds. Didn't make it, I don't believe. Yes, he did. 30 seconds. Clock stopped. Now it's running again.
And I think anytime you have any kind of an award or whatever, Reggie White has to be one of the guys that gets whatever you do for the way he plays. And then that other guy right there, Emmitt Smith. I mean, how can you give away anything and not give it to him? I mean, he just comes and just lays it on the line. I mean, we saw him today run with the ball. We saw him catch the ball. And then remember that pass that Jason Garrett threw to Michael Irvin? We saw him come up with a big block on the blitz.
Well, Jason Garrett turned out to be the salvation for the Cowboys.
What do you think his two nicknames are? One is Red, the other is Rudy.
That fits. Well, they're shaking hands. Charles Haley. Kept chasing. Jason Garrett kept plugging. Dallas improves to 10-2.
I tell you, old Red is going to have a heck of a Thanksgiving, isn't he, Pat?
Boy.
Feels great. Feels great. But I mean,
Feels
22,
great.
88, arm, offensive line.
Jason Garrett rose to the occasion, particularly in the second half.
It's time for the McDonald's Holiday Film Fest, featuring great movies like Field of Dreams, If You Build It, Back to the Future, The Land Before Time, and 5 Goes West, each just $5.99 with the purchase of any large sandwich or extra value meal. And each video includes a mail-in rebate offer for Jurassic Park, available at video outlets nationwide. So enjoy this special time of goodwill toward men and cats.
Your new Mercedes E-Class.
For John Madden, this is Pat Summerall saying so long from Texas Stadium, where the final score was Dallas 42, Green Bay 31. You've been watching Fox Sports coverage of the National Football League.
Back, no problem. Most points of the year for the Cowboys, 42-31 over the Pack. Lions 35-21 over the Bills today. Big day for Dave Craig, 20 out of 25, 351 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Both teams in that game now 6-6. Our next Sports Center, 11 o'clock Eastern time. Enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving. We'll see you again tomorrow. I'm Charlie Stein.
I'm Jack Edwards. The weekend kickoff show is next with Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, and